fucking computer. Well, hello, people. I've just sent the invite over to Rusty and Arran. They should be here soon. Tonight we're going to talk about mystical creatures, and legends, such as like maybe possibly about vampires, Dracula, Frankenstein, and all this weird shit. You know, because it's all paranormal anyway. So hopefully we'll have a chat regarding those. I'm trying to get my laptop to work, but my laptop's been a bitch lately. Takes forever to load up YouTube.
Hello.
Hello, Rusty.
Oh,
how are you? Come into my parlor and share some blood with me.
Sounds indubitably lovely. Indubitably.
What's that you got?
Ah, yes. It's a very interesting book. It is essentially, you know, this kind of ties into what we were talking about with the Bible being rewritten so many times. Things get localized and you can't say it's the real stuff, but this is supposedly kind of the Bible of the pharaohs of ancient Egypt, the Hermetica.
Oh, right, okay.
So yeah, I mean, I can go into a lot of detail on that, but yeah, I felt like putting just something on the screen, and I figured, yeah, it's a good book. I recommend it. This is the compressed version. It's actually like 15 to 20 big giant books, like huge encyclopedia sized, and this is kind of the compressed version, easy reading. So how you doing, man?
Yeah, not bad. I'm just trying to get my bloody laptop to work. Fucking thing. Pissing me off as usual. So I was thinking about topics such as like mystical creatures, legends, vampires, and
yeah, like Sharmi says. Hello, Sharmi. Hello, Ian. Hello, everyone. Yeah,
Frankenstein.
Dude, okay, so yeah, we have the Hollywood ones, and then we have the kind of like the ones we kind of know, like Bigfoot and Chupacabra, and then there's a bunch of like obscure ones too. There's a lot. Oh yeah, this can be an interesting conversation.
We'll talk about those later, but the Val the Impaler, he is known to be Dracula, I suppose.
Yeah, the class. Yeah, he was where they got the image of the heads or the bodies being impaled on those spikes all around the castle. Yeah, crazy.
Did you know though that he existed in 1428 to 1477?
Yeah, real person. Yeah, the bloodline is still somewhere today too.
Yeah, and the Dracula castle is 100% real. Did you know that?
Yeah, it's probably like, I would guess just off the top of my head, it's the #1 tourist destination in Romania. It's all in Romania, right? I believe. The castle, and this all took place in Romania. I'm 99% sure. Could be wrong.
I think so.
Dude, yeah, I'm pretty sure some of those big ghost shows have been and done some investigations at those places, at that castle, I should say. It's huge. It's beautiful. I want to go there one day.
Well, apparently, Ghost Adventures Sack went to Dracula's castle and Frankenstein's castle. The castle
cool.
in Hungary somewhere, I think. Hungarian, yeah, is it somewhere in Hungary?
Oh, really? Dracula's castle's not in Romania?
Transylvania. Conflict with the Transylvanian Saxons.
Yeah, Transylvania.
So it's around that area, I suppose. But yeah, like, you know, it's supposed to be real. You know, like they class as, like, you know, Dracula being like a vampire. And would you believe there are actual vampires that exist? But they're not the ones that we think on TV movies.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. I know there's people that have the lifestyle. Like, I don't know if you can classify them as a real vampire because there's yet, I think, to be proof of that. But yeah, no, I know I've seen talk shows with people that will drink blood and live nocturnally and sleep in coffins and stuff. They totally live the vampire. I've never known anybody. Have you ever met anybody like that?
No, but what's his name? What's his name? The guy from the UK. He reckons he was a vampire at one time, didn't he? I'm trying to think what his bloody
I think
name
I know
was.
who you're talking about. I can't remember his name either, but I'm pretty sure. Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, they're supposedly the most powerful. You know, some people think they're like the demons, like God looked down upon them and made them what they are, and they're doomed to walk eternity. Because some people would say, "Oh, living forever, that would be great," but I bet you it actually would be torturous. After 100 years, 200 years, it'd become torture, I would imagine, to live forever.
Did you know where they normally find vampires? What part of the world?
What, vampires?
Yeah. Where do you think they find them mostly? The furthest vampire community?
Well, it's Europe. It's definitely all around Europe and that Eastern Europe a lot, like between Europe and Russia and all those places. Czechoslovakia, Romania.
Apparently, they're in America. New Orleans and where else was there? They stayed there from New Orleans and Buffalo.
Buffalo.
Buffalo. Funny. The real vampire community, like the legendary figure it emulates, known as the national boundaries from Russia and South Africa to England and United States, particularly in the internet age. Vampires were often well attuned to community issues. This is more true for some than the others, though. I found the vampires of Buffalo to be keen to keep up to date with the global community, while those in New Orleans were often more interested in the activities of other vampire houses. An affiliated group of vampires, usually led by a vampire elder, who helps his or house members to accumulate to their vampire nature. But it actually does state, New Orleans and Buffalo. Some semblance that the real vampire community has existed since at least the early mid 1970s, not 1917, 1970s. But my own dealings began with 2009 when I entered the New Orleans community, clinging to my digital voice recorder. I eventually met around 35 real vampires. But the total number in New Orleans is easily double that. They range in age from 18 to 50 and represent both sexes equally. They practice Sacchinitian blood or something, and psychic feeding, taking energy.
Yeah, psychic feeding. Yeah.
Blood is generally described by studies participating in.
Well, what I gotta say about statements like that, like people that have done research and stuff like that, is these fancy pants scientists, if they were real, a real scientist would be trying to prove that, because if you're a real person and you can prove that vampires are real, that's monumental. You'll be in the history books forever. People want to prove this stuff. That's something people forget. That sounds like a little hokey to me. I think there are people that want to be vampires and they're real extreme, but I don't know, man. Do you think they're real? If they are real, they're not known. I'll tell you that much. They'd be smart enough to not be detected because they probably were here before humans. If they are real, I think there's some stories that say that vampires came first and then humans were like locusts and just spread and virus, and vampires went under because we're just a joke to them, just feed off of us.
Well, I don't think it's going to be like huge, like population of vampires, aren't they? And like, let's say like they say vampires are real. Where they get blood from? No, because like with the situation with like AIDS and stuff like that that's going around.
Yeah. Well, have you ever seen the show Being Human?
Be drinking, unpolluted blood from other people. That's
Well,
if they are drinking.
yeah, I mean that show, it was based in the UK, Being Human, and they had vampires in it, and they would do smart things like have connections to the hospital and connections to like morgues and stuff like that, and get their blood that way, so that people weren't, there wasn't just random people with vampire marks on their neck showing up randomly all over the place. So there's smart ways they can get around it if they are real. Hello, Aaron.
Hello.
Oh, so what are thinking of vampires? Do you think they're real or not real, Aaron?
Not real.
Well, I reckon that there are real vampires, not as such as we know them as like movies where they go attacking and bite people in the neck and like.
There are those people who think they're vampires and they get people and they prick their hand and start sucking their blood out and that type of shit. Yeah, there's those vampires.
Yeah, and there's people that are into letting people suck on their blood. They themselves don't think they're vampires, but they go to places and like, hey, come cut me and suck on my blood. That's really crazy. I guess
you got right. They got considered like, hang on a minute, before I start sucking that blood.
You do, yeah.
I got AIDS or anything, or some kind of like.
Yeah, the so-called vampires, they get the people go to the hospital and make sure they're clean and stuff.
But vampires originated from like the movie and like from what's the name, didn't they?
Well, the story was obviously because of Bram Stoker's Dracula. That's where it all kicked off. And obviously, if you want to go,
that's where it all kicked off from from 1476.
Oh no, yeah. If you want to go back in the past, it's obviously that fucker who lived in Romania. Who stuck all pills?
Vlad something.
Yeah, that guy. Yeah, he stuck everyone on fucking spikes and rumors.
Yeah, Vlad the Impaler. Yeah,
that's it. Yeah, and he apparently bathed in their blood and shit.
Crazy.
What was that one? There was a movie out which they reckon that could have been based on a true story, where that female, Princess Dracula, whatever her fucking name was, where she like in middle ages, she used to like get people, homeless people, or like buy slaves or something, and pretend that she's gonna like be nice to them, but like kind of like imprison them, and then like dope them somewhere, poison them, and then slit their throats and let the blood drain into the like a bath or something, and she just used to like bathe in that blood. And she says that it used to make her feel more kind of like younger.
Yeah. I think that's female vampire film I know of, like a lead role is Queen of the Damned.
Could have been that one.
But, I can't remember who you're talking about, Steve, but that was a real lady back in whenever. Yeah. She would kill people and bathe in their blood to make her.
They made the movie over it because there was a true story about that.
Yeah, I can't remember her name. She has one of those fancy, like Middle Ages names.
I think so, like, as well.
Does blood really make you kind of younger by soaking into other people's blood? Does it make your skin younger? I'm not saying that they're vampires, but like in what was it called? South America with those Indian tribes, they drink blood, don't they? Especially like the headhunters and stuff like that. They reckon that if they drink the blood from another human, it'll make them like younger. And if they eat certain parts of the body, like the brain, it'll make them like more intelligent. If you eat the eyes, it'll make them see more.
Majority of them people who are in the jungles and stuff, diseases probably haven't reached them because they're not mixing normal human people. So obviously, and if obviously vampires were real, drinking normal people, any blood won't bother them if they've got HIV or anything because it's just blood.
Yeah, they probably have a way to fight it.
Just think of being a vampire and changing in the back. You wouldn't have to keep like. You wouldn't have to buy a car or a motorbike or use transport. Would you?
Just cruising.
neighbour across the world. I'll be with you like in a couple of weeks' time.
Yeah, you don't even have to leave the front door. You just pop right out the window.
Yeah, just pop out the window, you know.
Oh, make sure the sun's not up first.
But with the vampires, though, is it a particular time of the year and night, you know, night, such as like when a full moon is, you know, where they actually can go out and feed, or can they go and feed?
That's werewolves, full moons.
Well,
Yeah.
we're going to be talking about that in a minute.
There's so many variations. I mean, there's some variations. I kind of like the more adult variation where the vampires are wicked and they kill people and they're immortal, but like all the other hokey stuff, like they can't be seen in mirrors. They're allergic to garlic. A stake to the heart will kill. Like all that stuff's fake, but they actually are real. I kind of like that gritty, realistic adult fantasy look on vampires. They've been doing that more and more. It seems like in modern day. But that, yeah, it was garlic, stakes to the heart would kill them. Sun would kill them. Can't see their reflection. That's a big one. Oh, the cross. The cross will holy water as well. Splash holy water on them. There's ways to combat them.
As long as they don't fucking glitter and shit like that.
See, so I've never even seen that movie, but I've heard the reference so much. I know what it's about. So funny.
Literally,
stupid pop culture.
Yeah, there's so many memes out there right now. It's like it's a better love story than Twilight.
Pop culture.
Don't worry about the shit. What's going on the side chat at the moment? My laptop keyboard suddenly like went to.
I tell you what is a good vampire film. You got Lost Boys. That's a very good one.
Yeah, that was my favorite growing up, man. I made homemade steaks because of that movie when I was a kid. I would sit there and whittle steaks.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I think he played a really good vampire. And you've got the Interview of the Vampire with Tom Cruise and Brad Pitt in it. That's a really good one.
Yeah.
I like the old Dracula, like with what's his name, Christopher Lee and Vince Price.
Oh yeah, he was big. He played Dracula so much that he got sick and tired of it. You suppose he can't even mention it. Oh, he's probably passed away now, but I heard you can't even mention Dracula around Christopher Lee or he gets all pissed.
Yeah, he played it really well.
Yeah, man, you figured out those old movies. There was a few other guys, those old classic horror guys that played Dracula a bunch. Not Nosferatu. I think that was one of the oldest Dracula movies.
I think it's one of the first, actually.
Yeah, I think it is. Might not even have. It might just be no talking either. One of those only a movie, not a talkie. I haven't seen it, or it's been so long I don't even remember. I can see the image of that weirdo, bald, crazy looking vampire.
I think didn't they do a silent one of them as well?
Yeah, exactly. There's been a bunch of those back in the day ones. I'm trying to think of more modern ones that were pretty cool. The Blade series was kind of a cool take on it, where he was like a vampire hunter kind of guy.
I'd say the first one is the best one.
Exactly.
The other ones were a bit, meh.
Yeah, Hollywood hokiness.
Well, he wants to return, doesn't he? He wants to be Blade again.
Oh, really? I haven't heard that. That'd be cool. Get one more Blade in there. Hopefully they do good.
Because I knew they'd bring out a TV series, but that flopped.
Yeah.
And there are rumors they want to bring that back, and obviously he wants to be Blade again. But it's a cool story how he actually became a daywalker.
Yeah, it's a really cool idea. It's totally one of those awesome comic book idea styles that got turned into a movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I never actually read the comic.
I don't think I did, actually.
Yeah, Steve, I have a bunch. Like, I have a ton of obscure ones too. Besides, we can talk about like the famous ones maybe for a bit more, and then dribble on to like more obscure ones as we go. But yeah, of course, in America, the United States, growing up, it was vampire was like the top of the food chain. Then like maybe the werewolf. Then maybe something like the zombies and just going down that classic.
Yeah, because obviously in Europe it's always mainly been vampires and witches.
Oh, and witches. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, totally. Yeah, interesting.
It's crazy back in those days when if they thought you was a vampire, they'll cut your head off, put a stone through your heart, cut your hands off.
Yeah, I think they would jam a giant stone in the jaw too. So
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah.
yeah, crazy. Well, they were really serious. I mean, that shows dedication. That shows that they fully believed in that stuff. You know, you wouldn't go to that extreme unless this was like a part of your life. One would imagine.
Yeah.
Pretty crazy. So that makes you really wonder, was there something at one point? Did it dwindle out, or was it all fairy tale this whole time?
So that's when obviously pre-science comes in it, because when they dig up the bodies again, they'll find if it's warm or anything still, or something's grown on the body. There's nowhere hair and nails are supposed to grow when you die and stuff like that, and they just got freaked out, or people suddenly disappear and they think it's instantly a vampire.
Yeah.
But yeah, going back to Lost Boys, I didn't like the second one.
I don't know if I've even seen the second one, to be honest. I can't even see that image in my head right now. Yeah, I mean, that's Hollywood. It's so rare the sequels live up to. Yeah. Yeah, I loved how the kids in Lost Boys learned their vampire hunting techniques through a comic book, and this comic book was supposedly like a way that like other vampire hunters got out the information out to the world. They would like teach it to you how to do. Yeah, that was really cool. I was super into that when I was a young little lad. What you looking at there, Steve? You look like you're intensely reading some. Oh, he's muted. Steve, you're muted. Did you find something really interesting, Steve? Vampire wise? Hello? Yeah. Oh, in the States, like Hollywood has done some on it, so it's somewhat of a Hollywood romanticized subject, but not nearly as much. Not like Bigfoot is the Skinwalkers, and those are like shape shifting shamans or just like shape shifting creatures in general.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was saying, like, you know, so many things you weren't hearing me or something. Yeah. No, I said, do you think, like, you know, someone such as like Van Helsing may have, like, you know, gone after like the things that he used to do? Like, you know, he went after werewolves, he went after vampires, he went after witches, and all that, like, you know, even like Hunchback of Notre Dame and all that kind of stuff. Do you think there might have been in one someone like him?
Oh, there probably will be.
Well, I know in England during the witch hunting craze, there was this famous guy that even wrote like a book about hunting witches and stuff. And yeah, he was kind of like Van Helsing, like a real life Van Helsing, went across from town to town and would try to get people to squeal on their neighbors. And I guess his techniques, he had a hard time finding witches. So, and then the craze died out and his stuff died out, and he supposedly just got retired rich somewhere. But I can't remember his name, but I know there was a real person during the witch hunting days that was a Van Helsing-esque.
Oh yeah, I know. There's definitely like people, because like, you know, witches are, you know, are real, aren't they? So it's wizards. But yeah, there's definitely like witch hunters out there which went out looking for witches. But just wondering, there was really someone like Van Helsing.
I don't know. Yeah, that's a good question. Was there someone Van Helsing was based off of, or was I don't know. I really don't know much about him in general, except that he was a monster hunter. He was like the modern day Witcher. I just beat The Witcher 3 like last week, and Van Helsing. The Witcher's basically like Van Helsing. That's funny. I never even thought of that.
So we kind of like spoken about, you know, vampires. There's people out there who think they're vampires, right? How about werewolves? You know, that I don't believe in, although there's so many films out there regarding werewolves. Like, you know, you got, I'm going to give you a few which you'll probably remember.
For me, it's Werewolf in London. That's like the biggest one in my memory, and classically such an impact on my.
Well, you got Underworld. You got
yeah, that's a good one.
Van Helsing. You got American Werewolf in London, American Werewolf in America. You got Dog Soldiers, which is a fucking excellent film, based in Scotland. You got like Silver Bullet was a cool movie. You know, that was great. That was.
I don't think I've heard of those last two you just said. I gotta try to check those out.
You got Blood Moon. You got American Werewolf. You got Ginger Snaps 1 and 2. The Howling 1 and 2. Night Shadow. I'm just like looking through a little list at the moment.
Yeah, that one, the werewolves, how you combat them is extremely limited. You really can only fight them with silver. Unlike the vampire where you have numerous techniques, I'm pretty sure it's just silver.
Vampires, you kill them by sage, crucifix, holy water, possibly a silver.
Garlic will repel them somehow. I don't know how. Like, sucks to be them because I love garlic.
Well, actually, a silver bullet's more of a werewolf in it. But
yeah, silver is the only thing that'll damage a werewolf. I'm pretty sure. I mean, maybe there's other things like if in some like oils or something in some places.
But with a vampire, right? They say like, you know, a crucifix or a stake to the heart, yeah, and like, you know, silver. I know is like, you know, for werewolves. But what if you was to melt down a silver crucifix into a bullet, then carved, you know, the sign of the cross at the tip, and when you fired it.
Oh, that's really cool. That sounds like Constantine stuff, that old DC comic. Yeah, I don't know, man. That would be awesome. Too bad we can't test that kind of stuff out. And what if you could get a vampire and a werewolf to stand in front of each other, and you could shoot both of them at the same time, take them both out with one bullet?
Well, that's gonna be in the movie of was it called? I just mentioned it, didn't I? That was in the movie of Underworld, where, you know, the vampires were, you know, like fighting with the werewolves. But then there was like a crossbreed of a werewolf vampire, and he was like battling both the vampires and the werewolves. You know, so like, you know, if something like that happened, you know, would he have a choice, or would she have a choice to like team up with the vampires, or would she have to like team up with a werewolves, or would it be like, enemy gonna have 3 breeds, half-breed vampires and werewolves all fighting each other over human? Because, like, you know, in fact, a werewolf attacks a human being to survive, but a vampire attacks a human to drink the blood. So what about a were-vampire? You know, inbred. What would they be? I suppose, like, again, still attacking a human for blood and, like, you know.
Yeah. That'd be the ultimate, like the ultimate predator.
Yeah. How would you kill that? Crucifix or a silver bullet?
I would just throw it into one of those wood choppers, chop it up to a powder.
But how about like Frankenstein? Let's go to Frankenstein. Now that's supposed to like being classed as a real story as well, because like it went back many years ago.
That was a quick jump from werewolves.
Well, like, we can go on werewolves, but we will talk about vampires in a minute. But werewolves, you know, they only come out at a full moon. Why only a full moon?
That's when they supposedly transform, but that's the popular myth, huh?
But what actually created a werewolf? You know, was it a rabid wolf that, you know, bit of human being? As they might say, some, you know, some people say it was a rabid wolf that actually bit of human person.
See, that's a cool idea, because that's something that both werewolves and vampires, they kind of touch on, that there's like a originator, like a king, like a first vampire or a first werewolf, and they kind of like change their story. Sometimes they're just cursed or born that way, or, you know, that's an interesting idea, man. Yeah, I would guess there's a king one somewhere, and something happens to them. They got cursed by a witch, or they wandered into a part of the forest they weren't supposed to, and the forest did something to them. Or, I mean, it's how creative you can get with that, basically. The big bang of werewolves and vampires.
See, I think obviously vampires would be more realistic than werewolves. It's the fact that how the hell would the werewolves like expand?
There's no proof that werewolf existed.
Oh, of course,
Even.
but yeah, I'm saying, look, you've got a normal person standing there. Then when the full moon comes out, their body frames and the whole lot would change. In reality, obviously that was not possible, but you'll never be able to reverse that once they've changed.
Well, hang on, though. You say like the body frame, you know, like people do tend to like teach their body to like expand and stretch, you know, like ballerinas and stuff like that, you know.
Yeah, but Steve, this is different. It's literally you're winding your chest and back.
It's like a full morph into something else.
Then you're growing a snout.
Well, I can understand, like, you know, with the skeletal, you know, how can your mouth suddenly like stretch out to like a, you know, like a wolf's mouth, you know? And
exactly.
How about your ears? Why would the ears suddenly like start pointing up, you know?
Yeah.
I can't see that. I mean, unless there's some kind of like DNA kind of thing that, you know, actually changes your body structure. You know, don't forget, you know, with the stuff that's going on now with science, they do tend to like muck around with DNA and create weird kind of animals, don't they? You know, they've had like a pig with like rabbit's ears and stuff like that, and a mouse with pig ears, you know, kind of thing. You know, with DNA, I suppose like if it does affect your DNA, then I suppose it could probably do something to you.
There's a show once called Fact or Faked, and it was a similar show. And this woman in South America said her kid was a werewolf and stuff like this. He'll just, when it's moonlight, he'll go off and do whatever. So the whole film crew sat there all night waiting during this full moon, and the kid didn't do nothing.
Well, yeah, in South America too, to go into that, there's been those people that have hair all over their faces. Yeah. They have a genetic a mutation that makes it so they have to like shave their entire, like their forehead, their nose. Like, I don't know about their nose, but yeah, you've seen those.
Yeah.
Maybe people like that is where the werewolf myth came from. It's really just hairy Robin Williams like people, just super hairy.
Yeah, it reminds me of the kid out of the Monsters.
Yeah, whatever his Eddie or whatever that was. Yeah, I know what you mean though. The werewolf's just never as interesting as the vampire, and I think that's because the vampires are more human-like, so we can like see ourselves in them. When vampires or werewolves, I should say, are just dogs basically. So people can't really relate to them as much.
Though, I suppose even with a werewolf and a vampire, you can't tell, you know, that they are a werewolf and a vampire unless you get attacked by one.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and like we're talking about like werewolves, like with their body structure changing, you know, into like a wolf. You know, how the hell can a vampire suddenly change into a bat, which is like, you know, 90% smaller than their normal bodies, you know, and had actually like say, hang on a minute, bruv, I'm just going to nick next door, get some fresh blood, you know, I'll be back in 10 minutes, and suddenly like, or she like, you know, kind of like transforms into a bat, flies out the window, you know, back in a minute.
grab some milk and eggs. Yeah.
But
I don't get milk and eggs when I'm flying as a bat girl.
Yeah, but I was thinking, obviously, if you killed the leading vampire, Dracula, how would everyone else become human again, as obviously as betrayed?
Yeah, like in Lost Boys. Yeah, I don't know exactly. That means there's some sort of like energy instead of like blood. It's like this weird psychic connection instead of a blood connection.
Probably is like a psychic.
That is a hokey one, huh? I didn't think of that as a kid. I was just like, oh wow, they beat him. Yeah, easy as pie. But now it's like, oh, that's so hokey. Yeah, and vampires are also known for being very seductive and good with the ladies and or gentlemen, while werewolves just eat everybody, eat their face off.
Maybe I should become a vampire, a proper vampire. Flying around, you know.
If you
go and bite some rich guy and grab all his credit cards and money, and then like, you know, smart myself up a bit, you know, and then like start flying around the old local clubs, and you know, my name is Stephen Thumps. I'll come to seduct you.
We wouldn't need to do that, to be honest, because obviously They hypnotize, don't they, vampires? You just need to look into their eyes usually.
Yeah, glamourine or something. They glamour people. Yeah.
Hey, have you ever seen lesbian vampire killers?
No, but that sounds awesome.
Yeah, it's a cheesy film. It's got James Corden in it anyway. But yeah, if I wanted to become a vampire, I'd just go find them and let them do their work on me, and I'd be happy. Just get bitten by loads of
go
lesbian
around
vampires.
looking for sexy women. Hey, darling, would you like to live internal? Would you like internal life? Yeah, how do you do that? Come here, I'll show you. Drink a bit of blood. No, you're going to live internal. You're going to have extra life. You're not going to die unless someone sticks a stake in your heart or throws like what are they called? A garlic bomb at your brain or something like that.
That's the thing with, obviously, apparently the only way, obviously in the mythic way, where you didn't have to get bitten by a vampire, you could drink their blood, and that can help you turn into a vampire.
Yeah, I suppose, maybe. But, you know, to become a proper 100% vampire, I suppose, like, you know, got to bite you.
Yeah, but then obviously, because if they bite and drink too much blood, they kill you. And you don't turn.
Well, I don't know, really. You know, I suppose, like...
That's why it's portrayed in... Like,
when they become a vampire, yeah, I suppose, like, you know, you can only drink so much blood before, you know, or take so much blood without, you know, destroying someone's life kind of thing. And if you want that person to become a vampire as well, you got to make sure they've got plenty of blood to survive anyway. And once they, like, do turn, then they got to go out and start, like, sucking on someone's neck and, you know, to regain their energy, I suppose.
But then some of them start drinking, like, what's it, rat's blood and...
Yeah, pig's blood, I guess, is real close to human. So
yeah, but if a vampire goes around and biting a fucking rat because he can't find someone to live, you're going to have a vampire rat then, aren't you? And then, like, a vampire pig.
One would assume that a vampire has some sort of filtration system in their body since they drink blood, that they could just drink any blood and filter out any sort of harmful stuff and just get whatever they get, like the hemoglobin or whatever that stuff's called. I don't know. Trying to put science into this crazy stuff.
Right, what's the next subject?
I got a list of a bunch of weird stuff.
We was going to talk about the Chupacabra and, you know, like the Yeti Abominable Snowman. And I know we talked a little bit about the Yeti Abominable Snowman, but they reckon, like, I did a Google on here earlier on my phone, and it does state, like, you know, the Abominable Snow, not Abominable Snowman, the Bigfoot and Sasquatch is practically the same kind of things, just different name.
Yeah.
The Abominable Snowman apparently does come from that kind of like DNA, I suppose, that kind of background. It's like the Yeti and Sasquatch.
Yeah, just animal family. Like, yeah, just that part of the animal family.
Like the colder regions, and it's had to, like, in one way, I suppose, learn how to survive in that coldness. And that's why, you know, it's like a dog or a cat. You know, when it gets cold, they shed their fur. And some dogs actually change their colours in the fur, don't they? Well, that's probably what happened with them, the Abominable Snowman. Because they've gone into another location, it's colder. They've got like a white coat instead of a brown coat or a dark black coat like the Sasquatch, Bigfoot. And they just, like, moved to a colder climate. That's what all it is, really.
Yeah, those are more like Asian. Like they I think they're spotted in like Tibet and Nepal, like the mountains around those old ancient regions. Yeah, man. No, for sure. That's you got it.
But all three of them are supposed to be like more seen in, well, I suppose like Yeti, you know, like in Tibet. But, you know, the Bigfoot and Sasquatch has all been practically seen in America, haven't they? Really,
yeah, well, I think, like, if we want to be technical, I think Yeti, Sasquatch, and Bigfoot are all American, northern and southern American, and then like the abominable, or maybe Yeti is the Abominable Snowman. See, I always get those confused. Yeah, okay, maybe that's it. All right, so Those are the three most popular, because I know in Australia they have the Yowie, that's spelled Yowie, and that's basically like Bigfoot, but it's in Australia. Hey, before we go, let's keep going on this Bigfoot vibe, but that just reminds me, when I was looking, I looked up just some random information, and I found a cool link about cryptids that turned out to be real, and they just talk about how stuff that is now known was just weird when people thought was mythological. And going to Australia, how we're talking about the Yowie, like think about kangaroos. When people first described kangaroos, there's like, people were just like, no, there's no way there's these bizarre weird creatures that have like heads like deer and stand upright, and they hop like frogs, and they have muscles like men, like, but these things really existed. So yeah, okay, so I know there's probably like every continent has a Bigfoot-esque person. And something that's being reported more that's tied into Bigfoot is Dogman. Dogman is something that people are reporting in North America, to where they see a Bigfoot-like creature, but instead of a Bigfoot head, it has like a dog-like head. And sometimes its legs are like a dog, like it's got these weird backward legs, those weird, like, yeah, man. Have you ever heard of Dogman?
No. Well, I've heard, like, the movie Dog Soldiers, where they they turn into not vampires, werewolves, but the Dogman, no.
Yeah, I didn't hear about Dogman until 3 or 4 years ago. It's a relatively newer one. So you see in Colorado where I'm at, because it's the mountains, the Rocky Mountains, that's like, and it's mining, we have Bigfoot and Tommy knockers. So we get the Bigfoot one. There's been reports of Bigfoot, and then Tommy knockers are those weird goblins that like lived in mines, because we have like dozens of mining towns throughout the mountains, and they would basically troll miners and screw with miners and try to trick them into killing themselves and do weird stuff. So,
well, I just answered my own question just doing a quick Google search. Has anyone ever seen a Bigfoot? There is an actual Bristol Live. They reckon that people in Bristol have actually seen a Bigfoot.
Yeah, I can imagine it's been pretty much spotted everywhere now, and it seems to have been spotted throughout not only the written but the verbal history of humanity. We've been spotting these tall creatures, and anthropologists have found the fossils of the Australopithecus, the really giant tall ape or gorilla or whatever it's classed as, that basically looks like a Bigfoot. So there could be survivors, remnants of these creatures still around. I don't even think they might not even be fossils, but they existed sometime on Earth. Really tall, Bigfoot looking, like basically just like what we think is Bigfoot is what these Australopithecus are. Growing up in the mountains too, I've seen two bear, and bear are so rare to see that literally I've been in the mountains hundreds of times, and I've only seen them twice in the wild. So that's super, super rare. There's so many people that have never seen a bear in the wild around here.
See, that's the thing with all Bigfoots in America. I think sometimes there is a chance that it could be one, but I think people get confused. It could be in the bear.
Yeah.
The hysteria kicks in, and the mind plays tricks on them.
Exactly. And bears can stand up on their hind legs and look just like a person. Like They literally can look like a person. Like they don't obviously have the physique of the classic Bigfoot that we get in the image of our heads, like the more muscular physique, but I can see how they can be mistaken.
I think was spotted in 1967 in North California. And there's a picture here, which I'm looking at in a moment. I'll screen share it quickly.
I think it's that famous one you're talking about.
This is in a moment. But I think it all started from that. It could have been someone fucking around, dressed up in a gorilla outfit. So it really does look like a gorilla outfit anyway, don't it? But I reckon with more and more sightings, they actually do reckon it's the way they walk. They don't look like they're walking like a normal human does. They reckon they seem to think Bigfoot actually walks more like ape-wise than human-wise, because like the way they kind of crouch over, the way they swing their arms and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so I'm thinking like, are they
go ahead.
descendant from like ape? Are they descendant from like gorillas, apes, kind of thing?
Well, if that's real, that's most likely an Australopithecus. That's pretty much like that's what it seems like, because these
Like I
things
said the
basically
other night,
fit the exact thing.
maybe they just did not revolve properly, evolutionized. Maybe it's just like a part of like humans did not evolve properly and they stuck as they were.
Yeah. Another popular theory for them is for those big beast-like hominoids is that they're interdimensional. They can somehow either like naturally, somehow organically pass through dimensions, or they're super advanced technologically, but they're all furry. So who knows, man? In the long run, I don't know, man. It's a cool one, and I've never met anybody in my family I've heard stories of family members that have talked or have heard stories. So it's been like, extra hearsay stories around me. So you just never know.
You've just been asked a question. Monty said, have you seen any wolves, Rusty?
Wild wolves, no. Coyotes, yes. There's a lot of wild coyotes around here. I've heard and seen them, not as much, but you hear them. I mean, you can just, even in the city, if you're on the outskirts, like there's a skateboard place I like to go, like when it's all quiet and late at night. And yeah, you can hear them when they get a kill. The coyotes start going crazy. There'll be like a couple yapping to like let them know it's a kill. And then it's like, it sounds like a party's going on. They all just start yapping and going crazy. And you're like, oh, they're feasting on a raccoon or something right now.
They're part from a dog family, aren't they? Like wolves, they're from a dog family.
I can't remember the whole thing. Coyotes, dogs, and dogs come from wild wolves, but I can't remember the deal with coyotes and wolves. I think they're related, but yet separate. I honestly can't remember. But
yeah, they come from the same genome, but obviously they're split off and did their own thing.
Like I think coyotes are more like related to hyenas, maybe even something along those lines, like more.
I would say more like African wild dogs.
Yeah, there you go. Perfect.
And dingoes and.
Yep.
Do you think we'd actually will get to capture a Bigfoot or Yeti?
Probably not.
I would say if it hasn't been done yet, man, it seems most likely not. If it hasn't, especially this day and age.
If they were able to capture, I bet they would fucking do what they normally do. Like take it and examine it and take blood.
Well, that's if the government gets it, and that's if they want to keep it secret. I would imagine like if a person finds it, and no matter what the person is, they would just want to show the world and brag about it, because everybody's about flexing and bragging these days. So
yeah, but then that's the thing. Then it's going to happen straight away. The army and government are going to come straight away.
Yeah, that's what seems like the most likely. Yeah, the men in black swooping.
Government always sticks their nose in, even with some of the stuff that we have found. What being washed up on the coast. These weird creatures from under, from the sea. They always go and grab them and do all this biological research on them and all this kind of crap. So I wouldn't be surprised if I'd done it with
Yeah, but that's slightly different because they're getting washed up from storms and they're dying on the beach and not.
Yeah, I know, but if they found a dead fucking Bigfoot, I'll guarantee you they'd do the same shit. And I think that's why, they state that they find so many new types of plant and insects and stuff like that, but we're also losing a lot of plants and insects and animals because the way we're fucking around with the planet at the moment. Yeah, we're getting an awful lot of stuff. So when you go into the South American jungle, when you start chopping all the trees down, a lot of animals depend on that kind of enclosure, because you're stripping away plant life, tree life, polluting the water and all that kind of stuff, and they are going to species are going to die out, but apparently new species are coming up as well. So how long ago was it since they first ever found Bigfoot? It says 1967 or whatever it is. Yeah. It could have been. They could have been walking around hundreds of years before that, and You know,
there is
documented, but
stories of the tribes in South America always saying they've seen and heard stuff.
Yeah, all the way up through into Canada. They have pictures of there's cave paintings of all the animals in the forest, and there's one weird creature that will stand out like a furry human-like person. There's even that documented. So yeah. Yeah, it's a Canadian tribe that one is. I'm trying to remember the name of it right now. They basically have coexisted. To them, Bigfoot is real, and they coexist with them, and they just let them be. They're called like the wild man of the woods or something in their language. And
I can't remember what the documentary was I was watching. I think about a week or so ago. Yeah, but it was about a family. Like they went over to a certain place in America where apparently Sasquatches had been seen, and I don't know who was actually doing the filming, but someone was doing the filming of the family, and in the background they didn't realise that a Sasquatch walked past right in the background. Then a few minutes later, another one walked past. Then again, about a minute or so later, a little baby one walked past. So they actually caught a family of Sasquatches on video. And I don't know how true it is, but it showed you on the documentary, which was actually reported. And it was actually the video as well where they actually showed you which they caught in the background, but it wasn't clear enough. It could have just been like another family in the background, but it's the way it looked. They was all black, from head to toe. But people will turn around and say, well, that could have been a family of Sasquatches. It could have just been like a normal family, taking a hike, and they caught them in the background, and the camera wasn't focusing properly. So that's why it probably made someone look like a Sasquatch. So, it didn't have any real proof behind it, but there was a documentary on it. So,
oh, that's really interesting. Here, I'm trying to get our like inside chat menu. How do you do that again? Okay, yeah, check. When I was looking up stuff, I found this interesting link to a guy that claims he was abducted. He was kidnapped by a Sasquatch. Well, it's an really old story. It's like an old miner or something. And he supposedly didn't tell anybody for like years and years later. But yeah, supposedly passed out or something from tiredness and was carried away by a Sasquatch and lived with them for like 6 days and eventually escaped. Crazy, huh? You don't hear about that much. You don't hear about abducted people. You just hear about sightings.
Another story like where a woman got abducted by one.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, there's definitely out there, but you don't hear about it as much. But yeah, it's it's crazy. I don't think I would like to be abducted by Bigfoot.
But what would they do with you? If you was abducted by one, what happened?
I would say either if you're a woman, they'll try and mate with you or kill you. And
I think in that article they mentioned that they were trying to breed with him too. So that's something he mentioned, even though it can't be proven, obviously. But maybe, man, maybe they are. Maybe they're smart enough to think that if they breed with us, they can make like a better race because their race is dying out or something. I don't know.
Could be. That's why you don't see as many. If it was like a great big population of like Bigfoot, Sasquatches, whatever, surely like someone would come across, like a little village or some kind of like den. Where do they live? Apparently they reckon that they live in like caves, don't they? So like, unless you come across the cave, a bit like bloody, Time Machine movie where you got those weird creatures like in the cave. They can only live in the cave. But not going on to the movie, but the thing is, like, if they can only live in a cave because they feel more at home in the cave and like they don't feel threatened, it's got to be a big enough cave to have a family or even several families. Do they live in like a community, or do they like kind of like split up? They could like mate, man, woman, have a child or two, and then vacate and kind of split up and move to a different part of the forest. It's like having little mini villages, I suppose. But how many villages are in each forest? Because forests have been ripped down every day, kind of thing. We're cutting timber down all the time, aren't we? All right. We're now actually planting trees as well. every time we cut trees down. But how long does it take them trees to grow again? A bloody, several years at least. So, if they are actually kind of like living and surviving out in the forests, I know, like in America, you've got really big fucking forests out there, yeah, and they actually are protected by like the government, I suppose. But
yeah, in certain areas, that's true.
in certain areas, I suppose, like that's where they are probably like hiding out. Maybe there might even be a Sasquatch out there who's more intelligent. Maybe they could even read and write just like normal people, just that we don't know that. Or they could be walking along one day along a pathway, some guy's driving past and the newspaper falling out or flowing out the window, and like how do you know they don't read and write?
That's true. I mean, but no, you're right. There's a few counties. Oops, echo. Yeah, they have. They can't prove Sasquatch. They have laws to protect them if they are real one day. Yeah,
No,
I always forget that.
It's a true story where that guy and that female got abducted. Yeah, how do we know that they did not try to try to come to some kind of understanding with this, the Sasquatches, and try to teach them, like human things, like, like how to hunt properly, how to write, how to draw.
Yeah. Well, I know there's reverse cases. There has been cases of people that get lost. A kid gets lost in the forest, and a pack of wild wolves or whatever will help raise this kid. That's real stuff. That has actually happened. It's crazy.
Yeah,
yeah, but a lot of that happens in Asia, like India and stuff like that.
Well, that wolf kids is a true story, isn't it? Because, like, as you said, like a pack of wolves, adopted a young baby, and he grew up with them. And when they found the boy, he was quite hairy, and like,
but because obviously that boy hasn't been with any humans, he was really messed up in the head.
Yeah, I know.
Oh yeah, poor kid. Yeah.
Then I think they tried to help him out, but then he wouldn't. He wouldn't mingle or anything like that, and he just went back into the woods and never seen again.
I think there's been some primate cases too, where children are raised by primates as well.
Well, they are more like human anyway. There's been stories, people have gone to zoos and a kid has fallen in a baboon's kind of like enclosure, and a female baboon's run over and protected the child.
No, it wasn't baboon. It was gorilla.
Gorilla. Sorry, yeah, gorilla.
It was a kid fell in. A silverback male went and picked the kid up. And there was a younger silverback male being aggressive, and obviously the older one told it to fuck off, and he protected it until the zookeepers come in and gave the kid over.
Yeah, well, I saw one where a female ape protected the young little girl, I think it was, and one of the males came charging over, and the female was able to stop him, and she protected him until the keepers came in and got her. So there are several different stories around at the moment, of things happening like that. So I suppose they are in some way intelligent.
Of course,
with a Yeti, Bigfoot, they must know where they're going. How do they know where they're going?
It'll just be like humanoids, like Homo sapiens or whatever. They know where to go to find stuff. It's like elephants, the matriarch of the herd. She knows where to find water. Like they've got such good memories where to go, and they're probably just like that as well. They know where to find food if they need food, shelter.
Well, that's what I mean. They must have some kind of intelligence, to go when they need to go. They must, if they didn't have that intelligence, they wouldn't know what to eat and what to drink. They wouldn't know how to get to point A to point B. So, every kind of animal and, like insects got some kind of intelligence. Anyway, you look at an ant. An ant can pick up 5-10 times the amount of its weight, and it goes to its nest, drops it off, goes back to the same location where it picked up the first bit. So they've got different kind of understanding. I suppose they have some kind of intelligence, knowing what to do, how to be ordered around, and maybe with these, isn't there? Maybe there's a leader there saying, right, you need to go out and bring some food back for us, kind of thing.
There is a hierarchy, but then you don't know. They could be animals or creatures that just prefer living on their own. They may just mate, then go in their separate ways, like other animals do.
Yeah. Interesting topics, guys. This is really cool.
Well, I'm going to change the topic now. Myths. Right.
KC wanted to talk about zombies, but she's gone.
Yeah, we could do that another night, actually. But I want to talk about, other things right now. Like, the myth states that the Mothman is supposed to be real, right? People have seen the Mothman flying around in America somewhere, different locations.
It's in Massachusetts.
He only appears when there's supposed to be a disaster.
Yeah, he's appeared a few times. I want to Point Lookout. I think the name of the town is Point Lookout, Massachusetts. Mothman. Yeah, that's a famous one.
The problem I've got with these things, right, is one person can make it up. Then the town jumps on the bandwagon and sells all merchandise and that shit. Then obviously all these sightings could just be CGI crap. To me, it just gets funneled way too much down the line.
It's true. It's a marketing campaign now to the city. They make money off of the merchandise and stuff.
What's the one? There's one supposed to be like an alligator or crocodile. Oh, like lizard men, wherever they go around and just start destroying cars. And you got Swamp Man, and then you got the Mothman. To me, they're just like fairy tales. There's just nothing there. It's just people's imaginations.
Yeah, people around the world are attention seekers, and they seek their attention through weird routes, all sorts of weird stuff. So yeah, it's definitely not out of the realm of human possibility for them just to be making up this stuff. I wasn't there with any of them, so I can't say.
I don't know what my fucking microphone tonight keeps cutting out sometimes. What I'm gonna say, well, they do that anyway with like Yeti, Bigfoot. They've apparently seen the stuff, and you get people cashing in. But with the Mothman, the only reason why they reckon that's real because apparently the story meant to be is that he shows before a disaster happens, like the bridge collapse, or might have a flooding or something like that, or thunder might strike a house and cause a disaster, kind of thing. That's what they state. That's what they reckon what happens every time the Mothman appears. And yeah, people have cashed in with the Mothman.
Yeah, apparently the Mothman appeared in Japan when they had that nuclear disaster.
Yeah, but then if he appeared in Japan, why is he appearing in America?
Yeah, I don't know. Somebody viewing mentioned Spring Hill Jack. That's an interesting one too. That's an American one where he supposedly is a guy with a tight hat on with a black cape, and he's has long fingernails and slashes people. I think it's been seen in London too. I think it's been seen in London and the States actually. I don't know a ton of it, but yeah, Spring Hill Jack. I don't know if he flies.
Oh, there's the story, the Silver Bridge. The Silver Bridge, hang on, where was it?
I think I know you're on about, Rusty. It's basically like a black figure that runs across buildings and
Yeah, I actually learned about him from Assassin's Creed Syndicate when you're in London in that Assassin's Creed, and there's one quest where you deal with Spring Hill Jack. That's where I first heard of him.
Yeah, I think Mothman appeared the first time around about 1967 or something, when that
Yeah,
Spring
I
Hill.
think that sounds right. Yeah.
You know, I'm just doing a Google. That's per usual.
Yeah, well, the thing that's weird with Mothman, and I can't say this because I'm not an expert, but I'm pretty sure it's only been seen at that one place. Like, I'm sure other people have probably said they've seen it, but like in my own research, it seems like it's an isolated one, and that kind of ties into another link that I found looking up stuff was just the craziest cryptoids state by state in the United States. And I'm just going to list off a couple because they have them in alphabetical order, but some I never heard of. Alabama has this one called a hugging Molly, some kind of witch-like person. Alaska has Qualapalak. Never even heard of that. Arizona, Mogollon monster. Arkansas, the Fouke monster. Those are like Bigfoot-like creatures. California, the Fresno night crawlers. Those are really weird. Those are like those legs that walked across a guy's but yeah, that's just an example. Like, there is literally every state has some sort of crazy isolated creature.
Yes,
Seems
that's
like
where I was saying earlier, where it's just all these mythical creatures that are just being made up or twisted or whatever, and everyone's just jumping the bandwagons. Like you're saying, like every state's got their own monster.
Yeah, watch this.
yeah.
Hold on. I'm going to play this video. Mothman, right? Apparently it's been sighted. Wait a minute. 55. Oh, what's going on here? Wait a minute.
Edge of Wonder. I'm your host, Ben. And I'm Rob. Hey, Ben, let's talk some cryptozoology. Did you know that Mothman was seen 55 times in 2017? I didn't, actually. And those are just the reported sightings. The first sightings of the famed Mothman were in Point Pleasant, West Virginia, where it was somehow tied to this tragic bridge collapse. He, or his offspring, lives in Chicago now and is seen so often that people studying these sightings, their location, descriptions, and timing, think there must be more than one of these wonky humanoid creatures undulating in the skies of Chicago. Most of these reports were of something weird flying, but some more notable reports were of this Mothman swooping down at people or peering into windows. According to Vice News, John Amatrano was working at a bar called the Owl when he walked outside for a break, and then he saw a human-shaped figure that flew in a strange swooping motion, undulating up and down. He said that this was the worst time to have his phone charging in the bar. I would definitely say so too. In the 55 reported sightings, people reported different things. Some people said they saw a Mothman. People reported the red eyes, like we've classically heard, some kind of gothic creature. They saw a big owl. And you know, if you think about this, what's kind of weird about it too is there were 55 reported sightings in Chicago. Think about.
All right, let's just stop that. Yeah. How do we know Mothman isn't some kind of just overgrown fucking owl? You know, on steroids or something. You know.
That's what I was going to say. That America have got quite a few large birds, so it's exactly like the thing I was saying earlier. It could, with Bigfoot and the bear, it could be just hysteria. Your mind's playing tricks on you. You see what you want to see.
Yeah, like that image that looked like a creature flying. That could have been an owl or an eagle with like a mouse in its claws, and the way it was holding it, it just looked like even weirder shape because all you see is a black outline. And you know how shadow puppets are. You can make all sorts of shapes with just your hands. So, yeah.
No, you can't see no one unless someone's fucking found a way of dressing up as a Mothman and, you know, is able to fly, you know, in midair somewhere, you know, and you know, some kind of hidden jet propelled fucking pack underneath. Because you know, you've got jet propellers out there.
Yeah, like a rocket pack. Rocket pack Mothman.
No, that someone hasn't somehow manufactured some kind of flying device and he dresses up as like a Mothman and, you know, and maybe he's the one who's causing the disasters. You know, he could have made the fucking down by putting dynamite there or something, and that's what kicked off the Mothman hysteria kind of thing. No, there's no real proof that the Mothman exists, is it? But
No, it's hearsay.
It's just hearsay, like myth storytelling. Anyone can start a story up, make it more of a myth, a legend. Was it called an urban legend or something?
Yeah, exactly.
I could go out over the common and say, well, I saw like some weird creature, and made up, some kind of drawing and say, this is what I saw. It could be like a rabbit with like webbed tail, webbed feet and like a chicken tail or something, some weird kind of creature I could just make up. And I could go to the newspapers and say, this is what I saw. The papers are going to publish it and people think, might even believe in it. And then they probably go over the common and, you imagine that they've seen it themselves. Because, the brain can play tricks on you. And if they think they see it, they're going to report it themselves, aren't they? It's like the Loch Ness Monster. Come on, like, how many people have seen that? How many real signs there have been? There's been some video captures of it, yeah, but it doesn't mean it's a Loch Ness Monster. Anyone can make a fucking story up, man.
Yeah.
Even South Park took piss out of them with the man bear pig.
Yeah, exactly.
But I'm not saying it isn't real, but anyone can make up a story, and like they've not got no fucking proof.
Oh yeah, you can't say 100% it's not real, but practically, well, probably it's not real.
Yeah. Well, you would think, yeah, exactly. At this point, you would think that we found a lot. I mean, I'm not ruling out that this stuff can't be found, but another example of a weird creature that was thought to be a myth was the platypus. The platypus, that weird duck-billed mammal. Yeah, I mean, you tell that to somebody that knows normal animals, they're like, that just sounds like a weird creature. That can't be real, and it ends up being real. So a lot of these creatures could just be some of these older, weirder creatures, and who knows? We just don't know. Yeah, that platypus is a weird one. That's a weird creature. I think it lays eggs. It's a mammal that lays eggs as well.
Yep. I think it is the only mammal as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's got fur and it's warm-blooded, but it lays eggs. I don't think there's many mammals that actually do that. I can't think of another
I think
one.
that is the only one.
Yeah, that's strange. But stuff like sea serpents were thought, and giant squids were thought to be myths, old ancient stories of that. And people have found giant sea serpents and giant squids. So.
Yeah, we'll just jump in a quick ahead again. The chupacabra, right? Chupacabra.
Chupacabra.
Yeah. Look how many different kind of like weird sightings and like, what they look like, This one's got like fucking rabbit ears. This one is like all spiky on the back. One says it's like a dog. Another one says it's like a bat, like a bat face, and like, so many different kind of like sightings. And they reckon it does exist, right? And what it does, it doesn't feed on humans. It feeds on, apparently, goats.
Yeah, goat blood. That's what the name means. It means like blood sucker or goat sucker. That's a chupa means suck, and the other part I think is goat. So yeah, that one's kind of a common sense one. I think that it just seems like it's what's the better odds that it's with some feral mangy dog that built the legend. Like that one's a little easier, I think, than some of them.
Maybe it's a vampire dog, like I said earlier. Could be.
Yeah, one of the demons.
Vampire goes and eating out the sucking blood from like goats.
Rusty said, it's probably a dog that had mange and stuff like that, and people just and it was obviously lost all its fur and deformed a bit. And they go, "Yep, right, that's a mythical creature." And that's
it's an old legend too. So it's like a legend when they were more primitive. It was built when their culture was way more primitive. So yeah, exactly.
But I don't know how long ago they actually first got the sighting.
I mean, it comes from it's a Spanish. It's like a South American myth. So I can only imagine it's probably been around since like the old Mayan days or something, because that's the Mayan and the Aztec and all those people basically became modern Spanish people because the Spaniards took over most of South America except for Brazil, which that's why they speak Portuguese or Portuguese in Brazil. So I would imagine it may even go back all the way to like Italy and Spain and that kind of stuff, like the stories of a dog that would come out and just kill goats only.
Well,
That would be my guess.
I reckon in 1975, yeah, similar killings in the small town of Mocco were attributed to El Vampiro di Mocco, the vampire of Mocco, yeah. But then in 1995, in Puerto Rico, 8 sheep were discovered dead, each with 3 puncture wounds in the chest area and completely drained of blood. Being like, well, what drains blood? Vampires, I suppose, but this ain't a vampire, is it? It's some kind of weird fucking creature that goes around drinking blood from animals. People reckon that they have come close to it, but like it's never attacked a human, I don't think. It's more, vengeance on animals and humans and anything else. 2010, University of Michigan biologist Barry O'Connor concluded that the Capuchino reports in the United States were simply coyotes infected with the parasite SWGhosts-UK or something. So apparently people have think they've seen them in America, but it's not.
Yeah. Well, and coyotes are like how Arran described those like African dogs. Like they got like kind of like the really skinny belly and like kind of the chest that bends out, and they can look kind of odd and twisted, weird shaped creatures compared to normal dogs. That's for sure. They look a lot creepier, coyotes do, than a normal dog.
Why does this creature just drink blood? Why does it, when it kills a sheep or goat or something, yeah, why does it only drink blood? Why doesn't?
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. We have a similar thing in America, in the States, with the cow mutilation. Something kills cows and takes its blood. There's no blood at the scene, and takes intestines and reproduction or reproducing organs and all that stuff. So I don't know, man. That's weird. The blood, again with the blood, like going back to vampires. I mean, it's the essence of life. It's like the symbol of life. So maybe the animals gain strength off of it too, like a vampire. Yeah, and like around my area, besides the Bigfoot and the Tommyknockers, is cattle mutilations. That's another one where cows a certain cow will just disappear for days on end and then be found in the middle of a field with no indication of how it got there. It's like it literally just fell from the sky, and its belly will be sliced open surgically, all perfect surgical cuts. Its tongue might be removed surgically. Stuff like its sphincter, its bum hole might be removed surgically, and other reproductive organs. And there's no blood supposedly. And
but they reckon all that kind of stuff is done by aliens, though, isn't it?
Maybe it's an animal that has really sharp nails, and I don't know. According to I don't know. I'm not gonna get into
Even it could have been a test lab animal who got weirdly created and escaped.
Yeah. Well, that's what the Montauk monster, the one that washed up on the shore, that kind of, because it washed up near this place called Plum Island, and Plum Island is known to have done like crazy genetic stuff. So that's kind of what spawned one of the things I helped really popularize these crazy government mutated stuff.
I still don't understand, where these creatures are coming from. They got to be some kind of like government.
Well, the Earth is huge, man. If a lot of this stuff is real, and it just shows that we still have a lot to find, and we do. We find new stuff all the time, all over the place. The Earth is really big. It's a big place. So a lot of this stuff may turn out to be real. A lot of them might just be super intelligent, and they're able to avoid us for super loud, smelly humans. Like, it's not all other animals can avoid us if they really want to. So it's definitely not out of the realm of possibility. It's just the probabilities are extremely low. And probability means versus possibility. Probability means more than likely it could happen. So if it's a really low probability, that just means it's pretty much not going to happen, but it's still maybe possible. It's a good way to look at that.
There was a story that actually, I can't remember when it was. Not long ago, there was a story that they reckon that someone actually saw a dragon not long ago. I can't remember what country it was, but it's in the papers and social media that someone actually did see a dragon. You heard anything about that?
Well, I know it was just the earliest 20th century that the Komodo dragon was like, we thought this was the explanation for the dragons, because that was just found somewhat recently in the early 20th century. So the Komodo dragon. So we know dragon-like creatures have existed in dinosaurs. So maybe there's some that have somehow survived to this day, man. That's why Loch Ness is so popular, because it's a really popular. It makes sense that it could somehow survive underwater as a marine animal and stay away from us for so long and flourish.
But then Loch Ness, right? It will need to breed to live longer, and so there must be more than one if there is them.
Exactly, there's more than one of all these things. There has to be, for if they're real. Yeah.
Apparently, these dragons caught on camera as well.
Well, if you got the footage, you should share that.
I mean,
you see, dragons, even though they're like in my mind, I automatically think of like Arthurian style dragons and stuff like that. Those kind of are like with Bigfoot, to where there could actually be a creature like this that's still roaming about and avoiding humanity. So, because we did have these things exist on our planet, we can verify these things did exist at one point. All right, yeah, show that. I'll shut up.
5 dragons caught on camera spotted in real life. That to me doesn't look real. That looks CGI.
Yeah, well, it could be a little lizard that has webs like around their legs and are like flying squirrels. It could just be a flying little lizard. Who knows?
Yeah, there are lizards that can do that.
Exactly. Well, there you go. See, I wasn't sure on that. I know there's flying squirrels.
I know they're all flying.
So much of it is misidentification, and it comes down to, it's not that the people are intentionally doing it; it's more naivety. They're just they're lack of a better terms, kind of stupid, and we all are. We all have to learn, and that's what humility and life's lessons are: is we live and learn and figure stuff out. And
then also you got to look at the frame skips in that video as well. You can tell all the frames.
Dude, that's why a couple of Steve's footage is, to me, just blows me away, because to me 99.99% of everything everywhere is faked. Like everything we look at on the internet's fake. That's why a couple of Steve's footage that he's the big ones that he's been able to capture are so big to me personally. What the hell is that?
That's a Neil.
No, Neil. It looks a bit like a snake with fins on it. Like,
dude, it looks like a crocodile with a snake's body, is what it looks like.
Look at its tail.
Yeah, but I wouldn't say. What's that post?
Look at its tail.
Yeah, but what are they saying?
They said they're dragon.
It's not a dragon.
Look at its tail. It comes up now. I'm trying to pause it there. Look. Got like 3 weird.
Oh, that's so pitiful to claim that. The Komodo dragon's bigger than that. That's like tiny. That's not. That looks like it's so small. That's probably some unknown creature, or an albino version of some other creature, some weird genetic anomaly of some other creature. A lot of this stuff actually does happen. So, whoa, that looks real.
That's fake, that is. No, hang on. This.
Yeah, it's all fake, man. It's all fake. That's why your couple videos, your head.
That ain't real. That ain't.
Well, and in the States, especially in the like the southern parts, we have the Thunderbird reports, and they're like these giant metallic dragon-like, eagle-like creatures. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say it's all fake, all the footage.
A lot of bollocks, man. Yeah, if that's real, it won't be running for their lives. Like bollocks, man. Like bullshit. I was trying to find one where they actually did capture, which they believe was a dragon. But again, it could have even been like, as you say, like anything really. Video of dragon spotted soaring over mountains in China. Well, we've seen that one.
Yeah,
man,
it's
I
also
mean,
like these fucking creatures that get washed up, or people report is a new species, and they just stick like a fucking monkey's head on a chicken or that type of crap.
yeah, that's how we have one in the States called the jackalope, and it's what is it again? It's like something stuck on a bunny's head, or oh no, it's a bunny with antlers. Like a deer has antlers, so there was that rumored a bunny rabbit running around with deer antlers, but it turned out to be some faking stuff, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but that's all like, it's just like if it's real, stuff that out there, weird creatures, it's probably like done under fucking some kind of biological fucking thing from the government, like, kind of thing. It's like with the fish nowadays, like, like the movie Piranha, when they like, start fucking around with the fish and the fish get more aggressive.
Yeah, well, though, that kind of hybrid morphine animal goes back to some of the oldest tales of like the chimera. The chimera was the ancient Greek or Roman animal that was like a mix of a bunch of animals. So we've had these tales of mixed breed animals for as long as written history's been around, and probably as long as verbal history as well. Okay, that's an interesting idea. What would be if you could design an animal, Steve, like the most badass animal? What handful of animals, like what would you make the head, the body, the legs? Like what would you do for a chimera?
I would have like a dragon's mouth, right?
Okay, yeah, nice. A nice big old gaping mouth. Can it breathe fire? Can it breathe fire?
Yeah, breathe
okay,
fire.
Cool. Okay,
I'll say like a dragon's head, yeah.
Okay, so we got the whole dragon's head. All right.
A human kind of like, chest down to like the legs, right?
Oh yeah, totally. Like the Minotaur, where it's like from the torso up or whatever. It's the human. Yeah. Okay. I'm picturing this in my head.
I'd probably have the arms as some kind of let's think. Something with really sharp, like eagle claws kind of thing, where they're really like long, sharp. So it'd have like the that'd be good. Like it'd have wings and like arms of like a giant size eagle or some kind of bird. Yeah.
Yeah, the claws of like a dinosaur. Have like dinosaur claws instead.
Yeah. So a bit like that, but it also have wings, so it can actually like fly a bit like a dragon. The dragon would probably have like massive, great big horns sticking out instead of ears. Well, it might have.
Oh yeah.
Then like leg wise, something like a cheetah or something, or something like a very fast running kind of like person. So it's got to like take speed. It's got to run very fast before it can start flapping its wing. That's
awesome. So it would be a predator that attacks from the air, essentially, huh?
Yeah.
But it also would have fire. It would have the crazy ability to snatch you like an owl and then have fire.
It can use fire, and if it doesn't have enough like energy to cut, like spit out fire, it can rip its prey to pieces with its sharp claws. And like I say, like with the feet, it's gonna be like something that can sprint really fast, but it'll also have kind of like claws on the bottom as well, so it can actually like grab its prey and just like have his like arms and that flying around.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Actually holding the prey with his feet. That'd be crazy, man.
Oh, I like it. I like it, man.
Well, what would your one be then?
Me? And let's see. Like for head, let's just start from the top. The head, I would think something like a mix between a lion and a crocodile, like a lion dial, like, or a crocken lion. And then, because you got to have the roar, the meanest roar, but then the jaws, those jaws will never quit. The body, I think, like an aardvark that's giant, or like a rhinoceros. So you have the armor, and let's see, and the legs and the arms of a kangaroo, to go about one we talked about earlier, because those suckers can get so muscular, they can get jacked. They look like they're bodybuilders. So I'd have those with the hands of one hand that's a lobster claw, and the other hand's just a really giant hand, so it can be used for all sorts of stuff. And then the legs. Ooh, I don't know. That's a tough one. I'd say mine's not going to fly. Mine's terrestrial, so it'd be like gorilla or chimpanzee bottom, so that they can climb through the trees all quick and easy and fast. Yeah, that's mine. I think yours versus mine I think yours might be able to beat me because it's in the air. It'd be able to get up. I'd be in the trees trying to dodge, and you could take me out.
I'll be flying through the trees, grabbing you, mate, with my claws.
Yeah.
What would yours be?
What you got, Aaron?
I'm gonna have to think about this one.
So
it's really cool. I like that idea of just like, what would you make? What kind of crazy, if you had no limit? I mean, I could come up with all sorts. It's tough to think of them off the top of your head.
Yeah, I'll have to think about it.
All right, so I got my crocodile lion thingy. Steve's got the dragon, human, but with claws and wings that can breathe fire. Human-like torso, but it's
dragon, human, cheetah kind of thing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, and the cheetah. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So you're covered on the ground and air, basically.
Oh, well, I'll probably have the rest of my body like a crocodile. Really hard, tough skin, so it won't be shot at.
Yeah, exactly, like an armor. That's what I was thinking too, like aardvark or something. Yeah, crocodile would probably be better since I have the crocodile head. Just keep the body. Yeah, if Mother Nature made like the combination of like bears and lions with combined into these armored like rhinoceroses or crocodiles or alligators, man, those would be crazy. Top of the food chain by far. A chug, a cross between a chihuahua and a pug is a chug. That's funny. They're both really small, cute dogs.
I'm just trying to find another video on something.
Yeah, Aaron can think about that while you look on. Hey, and I can talk about another kind of interesting classification of cryptids that's coming into fruition, because people have seen a lot of stuff in the air. You ever heard of the rods, the flying rods, where people see these fast blurs in the sky and they capture them? And supposedly it was debunked that it was just bugs with the shutter speed of modern day cameras not being able to keep up.
Actually, I've caught a load of those over when I've done investigations over where was it? When I was doing some stuff with Pete, Paranormal Man.
Yeah, no, I think I remember you mentioning that actually.
Yeah, I think I caught some with Arran and one as well. It's just like a stick, kind of like bug with about 20 legs or so. Really weird.
Well, dude, there's other besides those. There's other like kind of like jellyfish sided shapings in the sky that some people have thought of maybe UFOs or some kind of light anomaly. But it's actually, there are people that are taking it serious to where they've actually classified this as what they call it, an airborne anomaly. And there's been multiple sightings of different shapes of things in the sky. And so these researchers, instead of everything's a UFO, maybe some of these things that we think are UFOs might be some unclassified flying creature that's actually flying around above us that we haven't identified. So that's a really cool idea.
Right, here's one for us, right, which I would like to talk about. It ain't just, this one's actually been seen like in a kind of like grassy wooded area, but people actually, there is another one where someone's actually caught a video similar in a cave, right? But what do you think this is? Do you think it's just someone dressed up, or do you think it's really something, humanoid-like? So I'm going to play this one, right? (2006), right?
I don't think you're screen sharing properly. I just see your thumb or your avatar is all I see.
Yeah, working. Hold on it. Stop that. Start again. I think it was working.
Yeah, it's just showing your avatar, your little ghostly hands touching the glass. And it's such a good. That's like the perfect symbolism for the spirit world. Really, you can't really beat that image for the spirit world. Oh, there you are. You're back.
All right, let's see how that works. Is that working?
No, you went back to the avatar. What are you hitting to make it do that? That's weird.
Well, it's coming up on my screen, all right. Are you watching this on YouTube? Because that's what I'm doing it on YouTube.
No, let me see. Let me go to that.
Yeah, you're probably like looking on the avatar on.
Oh, maybe it's just it showed it last time on my Hangout screen in screen. So, yeah, okay, yeah, they are seeing it. Well, weird. So I have to watch the stream to see it.
Just go
Okay.
to the YouTube.
Yeah, my bad. All right, go ahead. I'll shut up now. Sorry.
Just go to the YouTube.
Yeah, that's where I'm watching it now. Yeah, that's weird. It's All right, let's go. Sorry, let's not delay.
I've got to start again. Output on this one. Hold on. Where's he gone?
Stamattina non si sono visto, le camere del parlato che si sono viste. Questi cousins che sì, via. Ascolta, si sentono?
Did you see that? It's like some weird kind of like humanoid creature.
Yeah, I've seen that one a bunch of times. I actually used that thumbnail of that image in my Skinwalker video I did back in the day when I had with my Paranormal Legends.
Right, then you've got to ask yourself, right, what were they doing in the woods? Why were they recording? There wasn't exactly mass hysteria. They didn't run away or anything. They seemed calmed and zoomed into the thing. So that could be touch of CGI in that, or it could be someone.
Well, there was a story. There was a story that they actually went out and they saw something in the forest one day, and they wanted to go back and check to see if they could see that thing again. And this is the second time they went in, and this is what they saw. But like you said, like if that was real, they'd be like, well, I wouldn't even be fucking on my camera. I'd
be shitting myself and running away.
Yeah, have you seen the footage of The Witch? It's like it's similar to that. These people are driving along a highway and this crazy looking old witch appears out and she starts sprinting towards it, and the people that are filming freak out. And that one seems more authentic just because of the freak out. So I'm with you guys. There's a lack of it just seems too convenient. Everything's so convenient in these. The witch one is fake too, but it just seems way more real because of the overacting.
So there is another one similar to that where a guy is in the cave and he's walking down at night. This kind of thing pops his head out, and like he's kind of like wondering what was coming down the tunnel, and it's a guy with a torch, and the guy didn't see it first, and when he shone the torch up because he thought he saw something, you see the same kind of thing, like head, bright eyes. That one, but they saw that one as well, and they reckon that's real. But there's this other one. This is a strange, creepy, unbelievable video of a creepy creature. These monsters hide among us, right? This one, but it's 16 minutes, so I've got to try to find where that part one is. Hang on. So I've got to try to find it.
Yeah, the Skinwalker said that when it's in its animal shape or when it's in its human shape, that it has the eyes opposite. So when it's in its human shape, it has animalistic eyes, and when it's in its animal shape, it has human-esque eyes. So that's one way the Native Americans can tell Skinwalkers. But you're not supposed to look at their eyes as Skinwalkers, because Skinwalkers can like get into your essence and do weird things if you stare at them too long. Skinwalkers are interesting, man. The weird shape-shifting creatures.
Right,
I mean, that's what if I would say just off the top of my head, that's what I would classify that thing. That first thing we saw would be some sort of weird Skinwalker, some weird unclassified shape-shifting or animalistic, humanesque thing.
Right, I thought of mystical creature sort of thing. It'll have a vampire bat's head, like a proper evil-looking one.
Oh, nice. Yeah, yeah.
Like a dire wolf's body. Maybe a scorpion tail as well.
Oh, wicked.
And something maybe like a golden eagle's wings or dragon wings with instead of normal feet, it'll have clawed feet.
Hell yeah. Just wicked claws. Yeah, no, exactly. There you go. Just basically, yeah, just take the most badass of the mythological and real animals that we have, and you can make such any of the combinations will basically shred things apart. I like that one. I think Arran's is my favorite. I like that, especially the vampire head, like the real, like the not the cheesy, but the like the crazy, scary vampire head. Yeah.
Right, here's one of the Skinwalker videos I saw. I can't think where the other one is. I saw it the other day, but I didn't bookmark it. But there's this one where they capture it on like this is a bit of a weird one. Like a dog's there barking, someone running down. I don't know if this is the video or not actually. I don't think this is the one.
Yeah, well, whatever's going on is weird so far. It's a weird video.
No, this ain't the one.
What's the tag say? It's probably just whatever that is in the tag. Yeah, the dog was just like standing in the middle of the road.
You can see that's this ain't the one. Hold on, I've got to find it. Skinwalker. Where's the Skinwalker one? There's two. One where a CCTV caught one, and then there's one which was in a desert.
Yeah, the Skinwalker and the werewolf are kind of similar, except the Skinwalker can change into any esque creature, but one big difference with the werewolf, I like it because I use this in my video, so just the only reason it popped in my head was the werewolf is like a curse, like you're bitten by it, so people don't want it generally. But the Skinwalker is like basically a medicine man that wants to become this, and the only way you can become a Skinwalker is by doing the most nefarious, taboo things in your culture. So yeah, I mean, think whatever pops in your head, that's what these people supposedly did to attain this Skinwalker medicine man. Like basically, the evil medicine man is a way to look at it.
Right, I can't find the Skinwalker one, but there's one similar, which is this one. But I reckon that this is a real catcher of a kind of Bigfoot-looking kind of creature walking through the desert. But it also looks like a kind of a Skinwalker as well. But it's not leaning over. It's not crouched over like a Skinwalker would be. But it goes behind a tree and doesn't come out the other side, which I don't understand. But that could be someone dressed up, you know.
Yeah, but then also look at the screen. It's pixelated.
Yeah.
You need clear footage.
I think that's one of the ones Fact or Fiction went on location and checked out. That really looks familiar. And they basically made it look really hokey.
That could be someone easily dressed up in some kind of like weird outfit. But they reckon like it could be a real one because like it's the way the weird creature walks. But anyone could probably make some kind of like weird walking kind of thing, couldn't they? I could probably like do something like that if I the outfit.
Look up, hey Steve, while you want to, speaking of walking and weird images, look up the California, what's it called? The Fresno Nightcrawler. Just type up California and Nightcrawler and look up this weird footage. It's got to be the first thing that pops up. And yeah, that one is a crazy one. It's actually one of the more creepier.
Yeah, that was one I was.
The story behind this was the dude that recorded it, the Spanish guy, the video got recorded over the original because of his old VHS security system, but he was able to record it on a camera. So it's really crappy footage, but the Fresno Nightcrawler, it's one of the weirder ones. All right, here, I'll shut up.
I don't know, this is it. Right.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I don't play all of it because it's 8 minutes, but I'll play some of it.
Oh, no, you just need to, this part.
But that don't mean nothing really. Like, that could be someone walking home with fucking pair of crutches.
Well, you see, this is one of the more interesting ones for the Fact or Fiction because they went on location and they were like in the front yard and tried to reproduce it. And it's really hard to reproduce that style. It's a really short video. That's basically it.
That was a great TV show.
Yeah, I like their approach. It was a little, it was still a little too Hollywood for me. I wish they would tone that down a little, yeah. But all in all, I liked it. I dug every episode. So yeah. Yeah, that's a weird one. Oh. That's a somewhat newer one that I don't think has been reported anywhere except that once.
Yeah, watch this one. This is another one similar to it, where I reckon that they've seen them coming through the trees. This is it. Right.
Yeah, that's it. There's only two. No, that's the only other footage that I know of that somebody supposedly captured. This one looks more CG though. This one looks not as possible.
This one's 2 minutes. Might as well let this one run.
Is it playing?
Yeah, it's playing. They're saying here.
Oh yeah, forgot about this footage.
That's not real.
Yeah, that one looks like a little kid with a sheet on. The other ones are different.
Yeah.
The original is the best because nobody heard of it before then. It was so obscure and so different. And so, yeah, that's a weird one. There's just so many weird.
So you're right to believe anything like that. I think the most, me and Simon done one. But if I had to believe in a folk tale, that may come true. And that would be the Slender Man.
Oh, really? Because I think that's kind of the hokiest. That's totally a modern day thingy. But you know what interesting about the Slender Man is you can tie a correlation to him with the Hat Man. And the Hat Man is part of the shadow people. And that see, to me, a shadow person is less hokey than the Slender Man, because the Slender Man seems like such a Hollywood thing. And creepy pasta. But I'm a little younger than you, Steve, so maybe that's why. But yeah, but there is a similarity with the Shadow Man, the shadow people, and the Hat Man. The Hat Man is a weird shadow person that comes in wearing a hat and scares the crap out of people. People are terrified and frozen and they can't do nothing. And so I don't know. The Slender Man, do you think that the creepy guy with the really long arms, I don't know, Steve.
I don't know, like, if I had to believe it more out of that than the, you know, the skin stalker, I prefer to believe more than the Slender Man. Because how do we know that there wasn't someone out there, tall, lanky, skinny, who preyed on young kids, you know, teenagers, took them, done what he needed to do with them, you know, and
No, it's true. I mean, it is possible. It's totally possible. But I never heard it. The Slender Man seems to be like an invention of the 2000s, like even maybe like 2005. Like it's super new, super new. Urban legend.
Well, and what about the kids who got black eyes?
Yeah, see, that's an older one. The black-eyed people have gone back. That's a weird one. That deals in the black-eyed people are tied into the CIA and their I'm trying to think of the dang projects that they did. Their psychological testings that they did. They had official names for it. Oh my, it's on the tip of my tongue. But yeah, some people think it's some of that stuff. It's like this weird testing, another race, another people, time travelers. I've never seen a black-eyed person. I myself have really dark eyes, so people could consider me a black-eyed person because they do look black in certain lighting conditions.
but don't they say that the people with black eyes ain't got like proper pupils? You can't see the pupils.
No, exactly. It's just a big old black thing. Well, that's why my eyes are really dark brown, so it can look like I'm just like have one giant pupil at times.
Yeah, but that's like with people with blue eyes. They're just mutated.
Yeah. Yeah, the black-eyed people seem to be kind of Mothman-esque. Like people see them when events in their lives happen, something, but it's not like necessarily a large event. It's more personal. It seems to be more like on some sort of smaller scale, personal scale, some life-changing thing in your own life. People have had run-ins with these black-eyed kids and black-eyed people, and yeah, they're generally very emotionless. Yeah, you get a weird vibe off of them.
The boogeyman. Well, that's more of a myth, isn't it? Boogeyman, folks tale.
Yeah, that is a folks tale. Like your parents would say, you don't go to bed, the boogeyman will come and get you. And
I don't know good movies out of it. That I don't think a boogeyman really exists, you know.
Oh no, probably not. That to me, the boogeyman was somebody that lived either was living under my bed or he was living in my closet. That was like his domain, and so that's totally a parent's thing that they tell their kids. Like, yeah, I think that's one of the more fantastical. Hey, you might have a boogeyman in your closet, Steve.
Yeah. Well, you can fucking stay now.
No. That reminds me of that one movie where the Weird Science, where the college with the weird guy that lived in the dorm room. He lived in the closet, but he lived in this huge underground facility, actually. But he would enter it through the closet. Sorry, random tandem.
No, it's only because Lizzie mentioned boogeyman. No, it's something that the parents used to like tell their kids, you know, to get their kids to try and sleep, you know, not to be a naughty person, naughty child. Boogeyman would come.
And that's really the most common thread throughout this whole entire subject, is that they're stories that have been passed down, either told by the parents or by village elders, and everything's just been stories. And now that we have modern pictures and audio recording devices, it's just natural that these stories have translated themselves into these modern technologies.
Yep. There are actually people, right? I've seen an article somewhere again where they are actually trying to find out if the Slender Man is based on a true fact.
I know they're making a movie now. It's just coming out. And when I saw the preview for it, I was like, man, did they miss the train by 5 years when it was more hot? And like, if they would have released that movie 5 years ago, they could have made a ton of money. Now it's just going to be another crappy movie nobody sees. They missed the train on that one.
Yeah, but the Slender Man just to be the bogeyman.
Yeah, exactly. That's really the best way to look at it. Aaron hit the nail on the head. It's just a modern day boogeyman. Yep, exactly.
Yes, I think.
Well, you know, another urban myth, a modern urban myth is like Bloody Mary. Like, say her name in the mirror and stuff. That's kind of a more modern-esque one. Probably, I don't know. As long as mirrors have been around, probably.
You
But
saying, Mary? She's still in chat. Where's Bloody Mary?
yeah, I was gonna say when I was thinking that I hadn't seen her. Maybe we should say her name 3 times. Steve, you say Bloody Mary 3 times. No, I don't want to do it.
Why don't you want to do it? Come and do it live.
Just to be safe. Yeah, just to be safe.
Was it like that?
I've done it before.
Like you don't say the Candyman 3 times in a mirror either.
Yeah. You see, to me, Candyman was only a movie. I don't think I ever heard that as like a story. The Candyman was specifically a movie. Yeah.
I've done that Bloody Mary 3 times in the mirror. I know it's a lot of bullshit. But people have done it and they've been somehow affected. Now, how can people say they've been affected and that weird stuff happened to them by saying Bloody Mary in the mirror 3 times? Is it something really behind that? They can conjure up some kind of like dark, negative spirit or what, you know?
It's just coincidence that it just happened to her.
Yeah, it's placebo effect too. The placebo effect is like they'll make their reality what they want it to be, essentially. So a lot of it's just like you suspend your disbelief either meaningfully or unmeaningfully, like unintentionally, and a lot of it's that.
Let's say if it did work, like, you know, I stood that in the mirror 3 times and I started getting affected and like, you know, weird shit started happening towards me. How would I actually be able to stop that? You know, how can we reverse it? I don't think they're reversing it.
Say her name backwards 3 times. I don't know. Good. Run for the hills. That'd be my suggestion.
Well, what happens if you just spell it backwards? There might be some other thing that might come through.
Yeah.
You know, look at me when I did that thingy, put on a Google Plus that time.
Oh yeah, that was really weird, man. That was so weird, and that's before we figured out that it was that name backwards too. So it's so weird.
Actually, I'm going to do that again. Hold on, let me see what it means.
Yeah, I mean, I can tell you straight up now. I know exactly what it is. I'm 100%. I'm 100% positive that it's an esoteric / occult website. So if you're a highly religious person that believes in God and the words of the Bible tells you that kind of stuff is straight up from Satan and you're going to burn in hell even if you think about it. So people stay away from that stuff. But to me, if you ask my dad, all that stuff is just new age hippie garbage, and they're just new age hippies and they need to go get haircuts. That's all. Like, so it's, you know, it's just how you look at it. To me, I try to look at that stuff non-biased, and I still became fascinated with it to where I think it's cool, but it's just, yeah, it's just people practicing different things and different ideas. And yeah.
Oh, hang on, that shouldn't have gone up. Why did that go up?
Yeah, it's really weird because I was raised with my dad being like kind of a straight hardcore atheist scientist guy, and my mom's like a new age hippie Buddhist lady. So I was raised with both worlds and without a religion. So I don't mean to, but most of the time I kind of just look at stuff in the middle because I haven't been influenced on certain sides of stuff. So, I mean, and that's what good scientists and good professors and good anthropologists and good archaeologists is they try to detach themselves from the subject and just take the information as it presents itself, and that's the best you can do. Listen to me like I think I know what I'm talking about. What a maniac.
It comes from our Urban Dictionary. Tutty mug. It doesn't really come up with that stuff now, to be honest with you.
Here, I can shoot you a link of some really weird. Well, here, let me see this. This is an interesting one. 16 cryptids that might or might not exist. It's from Mental Floss. Here, let me shoot it into our chat here real quick. There you go. Yeah, this one has a list of a bunch of obscure ones that I've never heard of or I've know very, very little of. Yeah, like the very first one is an interesting one. It's called the Ahul, and it's a enormous carnivorous bat that is said to inhabit the rainforest of Java in Indonesia, believed to have a wingspan in excess of 10 feet.
I'll tell you what that is right now. That is a fruit bat.
Oh, the picture. Yeah, it totally just looks like a bat.
Yeah,
well, these are ones that might or might not exist. So these are a little less hokey. They're going to be like more
See,
normal.
the second one, that is a giant squid.
Exactly, and these are things that'll probably be proven.
Yeah. Probably the third one, or probably did exist around the dinosaur times. Don't know what the hell the fourth one is.
Yeah, the names, in general, just what I meant with this is these are obscure ones that I've never even heard of. Like, I'm pretty sure I haven't heard of all of these.
I've always heard of the Jersey Devil.
Oh, the Jersey Devil, that was the one I knew. Yeah, that one's an obvious one. Yeah, it's weird how they threw the Jersey Devil in there. That one seems way too obvious to be one that probably doesn't exist, but. Yeah. And then here's another link. This is the link that I was talking about earlier of animals that at one point were thought to be mythological, and that the descriptions of them were too wild for people to believe actually exist. And the kangaroo, I thought the kangaroo was a really good point, because the description of it, like, it has a head like a deer, and it has human-like arms and legs, but can hop around like a freaking frog, and it carries its youth in a little pouch in its belly, and has a long weird tail. Like, it does sound like some fantastical creature, but it's a real thing.
I'm trying to think of that fucking website, what it was, which we found. I know it's on one of the most dangerous websites.
There's another mythical creature. Some people think the what was it called again? What's the firebird again?
Oh, the Thunderbird?
No, there's a phoenix. That's it.
Oh, the phoenix. Yeah.
Some people still think that's real.
Well, that's what I mentioned earlier with the southern United States Thunderbird is, like a bird that spat fire. But this one's a little different than the phoenix, because instead of fire, it was made out of metal. And so that's why some of the UFOologists have like wondered if that was maybe a ancient UFO flying around. Yeah, the phoenix. I'm trying to think of. I want to say that's South American. That's like the Mayans and the Aztec, I think, are the ones that had the phoenix. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Yeah, that's the phoenix is like the ultimate symbolism, like a firebird reborn, like the ultimate symbolism for like rebirth of one's own life.
I think that website we found was under like an occult thing, wasn't it? I'm trying to find the damn thing.
Oh, it was if you just write here, I'll get it real quick. I'll get the link. I gotta go to the search engine. It was however you spell each human backwards. So what is that? NAMUH AET. Namu something. And yeah, it's Namu. Here it is. Let me just copy this link. Here, I'm gonna here you can shoot. I'll let you shoot it. I don't want anybody to get mad at me. Here, I'm posting the link now in our chat, Steve. There's the main page where it's that upside down triangle. It just says abracadabra. Yeah, that's what do they call it?
That's such a weird fucking site. Yeah,
it's just ancient. Oh man, what the heck did they call it?
I would stay away from that, Evan, because that is so fucking crazy, man.
It's a cult. It has like books on Aleister Crowley. It has all of their stuff. It has all the books that the Rosicrucians and the Freemasons have published on their websites. It has all that stuff. It has all the different religious texts. And then it has weird stuff too, like Steve said, like about aliens and ancient lost civilizations. And it's basically just a library for the esoteric and the occult and the supernatural and the unexplained.
Yeah, some weird site.
Sacred science is what it's called. That's what I was trying to like. There's magic and there's powers in the shape of images and the shape of objects and in numbers and in letters. There's actual powers and energies within these things. So they have spells and they have symbols and they have all this weird ritual. It's classified through anthropologists as modern day Western ceremonial magic. And that's what the Freemasons practice. Not all of them. Most Freemasons are in it for networking and an old gentleman's club where they can hang out and talk crap about their wives and their family. But there's an esoteric side of Freemasonry, and that is what the Rosicrucians are. They're basically the esoteric side of Freemasonry, where they talk about it. The Rosicrucians aren't shy about it. They let you know, hey, we're into this esoteric philosophy, and here's all our literature. You can look at it all. And the Freemasons and the Rosicrucians in their esoteric history are hand in hand. Aleister Crowley was a Rosicrucian and a Freemason, and it's all tied together. And that's what that website is. So yeah, if you're curious about that stuff, you can dive really deep into that website. That is the basic library of it all. The Alexandrian library of the esoteric. Yeah, that term abracadabra. I remember in the United States I think it was the early 90s or the late 90s when Pokemon was like at its first huge craze. There was a character named Abracadabra, and there was an American pastor. I don't know if he was Catholic or I don't know what his religion was, but he got I believe he got the company to change the name of it because he went on this crazy kind of book burning sermon to where these are satanic. Look at this occult name on your children's card. Your children are playing with tools of the Satan, and yeah, crazy stuff. Abracadabra.
No, it's still the same.
Exactly.
Yeah, they never changed it in the end.
So I'm just going to do one quick screen share. This is the kind of thing that you would find in the website, which is really kind of crazy. You see pictures like this. No, really weird kind of like 3D graphics.
Yeah, I've read forum posts that people have theorized that these images, not only are they symbolic, but they actually digitally contain in some hacked coded information, all sorts of crazy information as well.
These are the encrypted kind of messages that you would come across like this. And you have to like decipher them all and things like that.
Well, no, a lot of it is astrology and numerology and using the numbers. So if you know anything about that stuff, which I know just a teeny incy little bit, you can read that stuff like it's just like reading a book or reading a sheet of music. It's the same. It's all it is. They just put everything in these shapes because shape is the sacred science. It's the ancient Egyptian mystery school power out of shapes. And so that's why all those formulas and use of numbers and words are in shapes.
I don't know they saw that because I've just found out that my bloody camera was off then. Hold on, let's
and that front page is an upside down triangle, and that's the alchemical symbol for water. And water is like the love, emotion, caring, the more feminine aspects of the duality of mankind. And Freemasons, that's one of their big things is duality, the yin and the yang. That's why you see the black and white checkered, you see the two pillars. There's a lot of duality in Freemasonry. They're really about that. And so is the Rosicrucians.
These are the pictures you would find on this website, guys. I've just tried showing you that, but my camera was turned off for some reason. So these are the weird kind of pictures you would find in there. And then you would actually find things like this, cryptid messages, which you would have to try to like decrypt and stuff like that.
Yeah, when you click on certain areas, it leads you to certain different places. It's definitely, it has a maze network of things.
And that's what I'm showing you because it is a fucking dangerous website. I think anyway, because why would that happen to me to lead you to a fucking unusual website when I had that partial possession, which what's the name was out to get me out of what's his name? Bloody hell.
It is a weird series of events. I cannot deny that. That is for sure.
Are you like spelt something out in Latin? And I don't even know fucking Latin.
Yep. Well, that's how it all spawned, is that you wrote that message and then I just did a little quick search and I found that site and then it all just took off from there really quick. So
really weird.
But then again, that was when I knew nothing about the world of esoteric. That was before I got my first pack of tarot cards. So that was before I learned about the esoteric world to the degree.
Some events supposed to occur, but I don't think that's supposed to occur, to be honest with you. Never did. Why did it? You know, kind of really weird that should crop up that particular day. And it was only after that I started buying. Well, I bought a couple of tarot cards as well, didn't I? So maybe it's supposed to have been something I was supposed to have done.
Well, you know, from my own research of the esoteric world, it's about self betterment and about self improvement. I mean, that's what the modern day alchemists, they don't change matter and materials. They try to transmute, which is a fancy way to say change, and that's the word that alchemists like to use, is transmute their internal flaws, change jealousy into like kindness, and change you know, like being a jerk, like pride, into humility and stuff like that. And so that's a big part of the esoteric philosophy, is about bettering oneself. And the main reason why the church looks down upon it is that they tell you, their books tell you, you don't need the church or Jesus Christ or any of that stuff to find heaven, to find nirvana, to become one with the universe. You can do this through self-betterment, through these practices taught to you through symbolism and these ancient pictures that have been used since the days of ancient Egypt. It's really crazy stuff, man. It's far out. And I know my dad would just be like, bunch of hippie bull crap.
Tonight, what shall we talk about next? Like, anyway, well, not so much what we're talking about now, but before, weird creatures. Why do you think that these weird creatures are coming up from below the bottom sea now? Is it because, like, you know, where we've been testing all this nuclear crap out, that it's like kind of like deformed creatures and like
could the what's the Japanese nuclear meltdown that happened, Fukushima, a few years back? I mean, dude, it's very possible radioactive material mutates genes. We know that. So are they creating like incredible Hulk style monsters? That still really can't be proven, but weird stuff washes up on the shores. But most of the time they're debunked as, because they've been in the salt water of the ocean and other animals been chewing on them, that there's a normal animal that just looks all crazy through the process, how it ended up on the shoreline. So I wasn't there for any of them, so I can't say for sure.
Yeah, but they reckon that there's so many weird creatures that are popping up. They even reckon that they've even seen like half man, half sea urchins, like, you know, mermaids, kind of stuff like that.
Yeah, the sirens. That goes back to, again, some of the ancient written stories. Yeah, the sirens, the beautiful, amply chested ladies that call you into the sea. Yeah.
I'd love it. Like, if I could swim, which I can't, I can swim like a brick. But if I was going down the coast and I saw a mermaid, you know, nice, beautiful young mermaid having problems, you know, I'd jump in and save her. And maybe, like, you know, she might save me if I was having a problem. And, like, you know, she knew I couldn't swim and, like, I'd gonna drown. Maybe she might dive over towards me and rescue me. You know, you never know.
Yeah.
But well, I think, like,
go ahead.
I do believe that there's something, you know, below us in the oceans, like whether the mermaids or something like that, or lizard creatures like lizard men or whatever. You know, I do believe that there is some kind of like half human species that live deep down in the sea. Now, if not, then I reckon, you know, aliens could be living there now. Because, like, if the sea is so deep, you know, if they've got spacecraft, which is like, you know, structural, you know, because like if they're flying through space, they've got to have it so structural minded, don't they, kind of thing. And if they are to, like, you know, make little kind of like bases down, I suppose, you know, we just don't know what's at the bottom of the sea. Could be aliens living down there, could be half man, half human, they could be like so many weird creatures down there. We wouldn't know.
No, they say we know more about the moon than we know about the oceans themselves. So, no, totally, man.
we only scratched the surface of the planet Earth, have we? We haven't really gone, well, we can't go down too deep because of the pressure.
Well, no, what happened was it got too hot. It was a Russian, some sort of construction crew or something. They dug the deepest hole, the known hole, and it's 7 miles or 9 miles. And they had to literally stop because it just got too hot. And so you need, at that point, you're going to have some sort of protective gear to go past 9 miles. I'm pretty sure it was 9 miles. And yeah, it literally was getting too hot and melting the gear. And that's nothing compared to how much farther it goes. It literally goes for hundreds and hundreds more miles, if not thousands more miles deep into the core. And then we've only got 9, less than 10.
That's actually on the Earth's crust, isn't it? You know, on the Earth itself.
Yeah, the outer mantle. I think it's called the mantle. I'm not a geologist at all, but yeah, it's the very outer.
I'm talking about the sea. You know, down in the sea, we can only go so far down the sea, can't we? Before.
No, exactly. Yeah, the pressure. Oh, okay, the sea. Yeah, I'm trying to think of there's a big old huge valley in the ocean between you guys and the United States, and I can't remember the name of it right now, but that's the deepest we've gone down to that. The Moranis Trench, something trench. I can't remember it, but yeah, you're right. Pressure, man. Yeah, everything's gonna have to. Even with the Earth, we're gonna have all machines take us deeper into Earth or the oceans.
Journey to the center of the Earth.
The Marianas Trench. I think that's it. The Marianas.
Yeah, it could be like kind of like hidden caves, caverns underneath the sea that lead into, like, you know.
Oh, there is, and they've actually found well, I don't know which sea it is, but there is a river under the sea. So you go into a cave and there's another basically river there, which ain't connected to anything. So it's like its own little ecosystem.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I reckon there's probably, like, you know, open spaces down below where, you know, you have got these prehistoric monsters, creatures down there which haven't, like, been able to evolutionize, kind of thing, and got stuck down there. You know, a bit like the during the center of the Earth, you know, they go down through the volcanoes, you know, the tunnels and stuff like that, and come out some kind of like weird plateau.
Yeah, but it's like how scientists don't realise how these tiny little shrimps can survive next to volcanic chutes.
Yeah, those vents. Yeah.
So yeah, there will be animals, well, sea creatures down there which we never know exist. There's still stuff there.
You know what's interesting is one of the famous scientists that is like kind of like deemed as one of the greatest. It was called Sir Edmund Halley, and that's what Halley's Comet is named after. He was actually the first well-known scientist to propose that Earth is hollow and that it's multiple spheres inside of us. So kind of like the Russian, those Russian dolls that have a Russian doll inside each one. There's different layers. He proposed that's what he felt the Earth was, and that he's a really famous guy. I mean, they named Halley's Comet after him, so he's very esteemed and looked upon. And a hollow Earth, and that there's another sun. I believe it was his theory, I believe, or maybe someone else's, but that's one of the hollow Earths. Is that inside the Earth there's a smaller sun that creates it. So down inside the Earth, they feel like they're on the outside. They can't tell. The blackness of space is the inside of us to them. Pretty wild, huh?
Nah, I don't believe in that.
Yeah, well, obviously that was before they know now. But you see, we can get into the theories of just what's inside the Earth because we've only got 9 miles. We don't actually know everything that's down there. That's just their best guesstimate from our own measurements of the materials and the elements and the different building blocks that we think. And the whole molten rock and heating, it just makes sense with how it keeps us alive and all that stuff. But we don't know. No one's gone past 9 miles.
Going back through just the other night, you know, we're talking about underground cities. Do you think that it could be some kind of like subterranean city where people live? Like, you know, because I reckon like sometimes people come up from underneath the train station. You know, some of the homeless people actually go into the tube stations and, you know, kind of live into the dark tunnels. Maybe there's something there that they can go further down and like create their own kind of like little population kind of thing. You know, for all we know, there could be something down there, you know, 2 or 3 miles away, deep down where someone's like dug all these caverns out. You know, like we said the other day, where that one in Asia, I think it was, or
wherever it was.
You know, where they found that big cave system of
Turkey. It was
like,
Turkey. Yeah,
Turkey. That one. You know, for all we know, there could be many like that, and people are still living down there.
Well,
dude, that's probably an ancient city.
Well, yeah, the one in Turkey is it was vacant, so all we found was just the remnants of them. Well, have you guys heard of Admiral Byrd? He's a famous dead now. It's an old 1940s or 50s or 60s American military pilot as an admiral, and he supposedly flew a plane to the North Pole and found a hole, a giant hole big enough to fly a plane into, flew his plane into this place, went for a while and found a giant city, and actually communicated with this other civilization that's like way under the earth, that the cave system was so big he could fly in like a la Millennium Falcon from Star Wars. And yeah, it supposedly talked to them, and they said that we're poisoning the earth and that with nuclear weapons we're going to kill each other. Yeah, there was nuclear or atomic stuff, so it was definitely in the 50s, I believe, 50s or 60s then. And yeah, and so that is a military admiral. You don't become an admiral because you're some weird kook, you know. So this is real stuff. There's interviews with this. Yeah,
you know, that's what I mean. If someone like that has actually found a kind of like hidden city somewhere, you know, he was able to fly in and fly out, you know, I would have thought that if he was able to fly in, why would they allow him to fly out just in case? Like,
because they were more advanced. They basically greeted him and just said, "Hey, yeah, we're here, and we don't like what you're doing, and yeah, I mean, come communicate with if you want, or something along those lines." And then yeah, he went on with his merry way along those lines. Who knows, man? He could have been down there for months on end, and they had some technology that made it only seem like he was there for minutes, and he lived a whole nother life and forgot about it. They wiped his memory. We never know. But he made it sound like they were advanced. They were more advanced and peaceful because one would assume benevolence or whatever the peaceful one is. Yeah, I think it is benevolence.
Yeah,
comes peacefulness.
That's the thing that they're saying with Hitler. You know, he had an advanced kind of group of people that's gone to the Iceland or Antarctic or somewhere, and they've built like a big
the South Pole, Antarctica. Yeah.
And like, you know, they're waiting for like the Third World War if it does happen, because like they're going to be more advanced in technology, and like they're the only people who's going to probably survive down there, you know. And then it's all pure German, you know, Nazi people kind of down there. And they're saying this, that, you know, if a Third World War and Germany does like, you know, get involved in it, they're going to have technology that we don't even know or understand, and we're going to just be obliterated. And like, you know, they're going to take over the whole fucking world.
Well, they made a movie off the idea of them with a base. It was, I can't remember the name of it. It might have been Nazis on the Moon, but it literally was the Nazis went to the moon instead and have been building their society and their army on the dark side of the moon, and nobody knew they were there. And then when they were ready to attack, they started to attack the Earth again to take back what was theirs. It's possible, man. Is it likely? Probably not, but it's very possible. I mean, they have to be somewhere still. I seriously doubt we literally annihilated every trace of them. Like, it'd be impossible.
Nah. Well, with the technology now, you know, we're so advanced now. You know, I said like the other day, you know, 50 years, you know, started off like with watching Star Trek, where they're playing around with like little mobile devices, touchscreen, and now we've already got it. Come on, you know, this ain't going on here, you know. Are we getting technology from aliens? I don't know. Maybe we are, maybe not. But it's kind of weird that we've learned so much within like 50, 60, 70 years, you know, kind of thing. And like,
yeah,
if we've learned that so much, you know, by technology wise, I'm pretty sure that some of these weird fucking creatures out there are done, you know, through biological kind of experiments, you know, and like possibly using some kind of like radiation. And like that's why some of them probably, you know, there might be some that's actually escaped from their captivity or something, and that's why we've seen some of them. You know, it's a possibility. I'm not saying it's for real, but you know, anything's possible. You know, they could have been fucking like mutating a fucking rabbit to make it look like something completely different, and it's escaped. And that could be like the chupacabra or something like that, or like when you get like something completely different, like the skinwalker. That could be like a real life alien. They've been like doing experiments on them, and somehow it's escaped. We don't know. Some of it, some of it could be just like bullshit, fake stuff. CGI and all that.
Well, we know that at least the American government has kept the smallpox virus, it's kept the plague, it's kept all these other things enwrapped in the CDC in Atlanta, Georgia. It has all this stuff that can wipe out mankind in its basement. So it makes sense if you follow that track that, yeah, they probably have other things evolved from those ideas, biological weapons that may be some sort of chimera animal. Like it is possible, man.
Rage disease.
There was a scientist a long time ago. It's documented, and I think there's even footage that they were trying to put a chimpanzee or some ape's head onto a human body, and they were actually able to do it, and the thing stay alive for a couple days. And this was a long time ago with like crap technology compared to what we have now. So, dude, in the world of science, the true scientist, the end justifies the means, and all that means is to find out the truth, to develop the greatest science. It doesn't matter if you're hurting people because the end justifies what's going on.
That's where the fucking crazy Nazi scientists.
Exactly, and that's the scariest. One of the scariest parts.
And I was trying to make,
you get like talking about Frankenstein. They created like another living being by taking parts of another parts from different people. So I could believe that sticking the fucking ape's head on a human person.
Well, those crazy scientists wanted to create basically super soldiers, and they literally torture people and to stimulate certain things in them. And
well, we got to be careful talking about super soldiers because there might be something out there, and the government be like us fucking talking about it.
They're probably
like Christopher said the other day, right? There's a guy who's been talking about stuff here, freedom of speech. And the thing was, right, they took his channel down, not through just YouTube, but everything he was doing on social media got taken down because the government didn't like him saying shit about certain stuff here. So you got to be careful when talking about, governmental experiments and shit like that, because we might hit a nerve, kind of thing. But you just don't know what they are fucking doing out there. They got so many secrets. How about that? There's supposed to be a warehouse that's got so many dark secrets, but hidden away from humanity. I don't know where it is, but they reckon they've got the covenant of the art. They got the golden cup of Christ and all that kind of shit in there. If that's all true or not, I don't know. But even the Germans supposed to have like so many religious artifacts. But anything that I suppose is religious, or anything like some kind of weird technology or whatever, the government grabs and puts it in storage, so they don't want you to use it, or to let people either sell it on the market or something like that. Talking bullshit, I know, but I know that there are.
No, I mean, dude, it makes sense. I mean, that's essentially what the Nazis wanted. They wanted to collect these things, so you would have to have a place to place your collection. So yeah, dude, they made a show in the States. I don't know if you guys ever heard of it, Warehouse 13. It was like a science fiction show that ran for a few seasons. It was a cool idea. Basically, they were this warehouse that collected supernatural weird things to keep safe from the world. So just like you were talking about.
Yeah, it was aired over in the UK for a while. But it's kind of weird that, they have all this technology and artifacts and stuff like that hidden away from us. And they won't let us see it because they're too frightened that we got to know the truth. It'd probably be pandemonium.
Well, and if some of it's as powerful as the myths say, I mean, they're just plain old dangerous. You wouldn't give a gun to a baby, and that's kind of like the same philosophy.
So much, that's going on here, like dark secrets, that some of this stuff is actually like, I don't know if it's true or not, but some of this information is actually on the dark web, which is a dangerous place to be anyway. I've been watching some of these dark web mystery boxes, you know, kind of thing. It's all
Yeah.
weird.
It's also the majority of the web. What we know as the web is just like the tip of the iceberg. The majority of the web is that dark web. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, there's a way of getting onto it, but you got to like have a VPN so people don't know who you are. They can't hack into your computer. But there's so much like unusual, weird shit going on down here. I know, like on eBay, you can buy a mystery box, but on the dark web, they do like the dark web box. And you know, I've been watching some of the videos, and some of the shit that people get is really fucking weird. You know, you get like pen sticks, you know, with like crazy videos of like people committing suicide or people being big-headed or, you know, weird shit like that kind of thing, stuff that shouldn't be on like normal YouTube. But it's actually like, I think a lot of it's like faked anyway, but it's like, you know, if someone can make money, they make money. And that's what they do on the dark web. They put a load of like weird shit in the box, trying to scare you, you know, and, you know, some of these boxes go for like fucking big money. You're talking 10, 20, 30. There's one guy who reckons he paid £100,000, well, $100,000 for a box, and the stuff he got in it was all bullshit. You know, like a fake hand, you know, memory stick of some weird footage and fake blood and all this kind of weird shit. You know, thinking he's going to scare the hell out of him. And like sometimes you get like electronic stuff, like, you know, like cameras, mobile phones, tablets, laptops, and stuff like that, with all like you know, with like weird information installed in them, you know, really crazy stuff. But that's on the dark web. On the eBay, you know, you can get weird stuff on eBay anyway. Like you can pay like £100 for a mystery box, and you might just get like a toilet roll, you know, a broken cup, some weird, you know, some other kind of like stuff which ain't no use, and like it's a chance on what you buy. On, you know, there have been some people where they've got some really interesting stuff, and like, you know, they think like, oh, I'm going to waste like £100, and some of the stuff that's gone to them, you know, technology kind of stuff, you know, like devices, and like radios, mobile phones, tablets, laptops. Some people come out like, wow, you know, this is a great mystery box, because if you tally all the cost up, some, you know, it's £100 they spent, and some of the equipment or some of the things that they've got in the box is like worth 2 or 3 times more than that kind of thing. But sometimes with a mystery box, you might get something which is only worth like £5, and you know, you ain't going to make anything back on that, are you? £5, especially when you spend £100. I've always thought about getting a mystery box off eBay and seeing what it's like and doing a live stream. But, you know, I don't want to be wasting my money. But, you know, the things that they put in these boxes are kind of weird. And, like, you know, I'm surprised that, you know, the government has actually allowed there to be, like, a dark web. You know, maybe the government is part of the dark web as well. Maybe they are part of the dark web as well, hiding secrets.
Well, the original internet was provided by our government for networking purposes, and then it went public.
What would we be doing now if we didn't have the internet? We'd just be sitting watching TV. What if we didn't have no TV? We'd be listening to radio. What would we be doing if we had no radio?
Well, you could thank an Englishman creating the internet.
We'd be slapping around each other with clubs and stuff, because we'd be out in the streets and we'd find out we all hate each other. I don't know.
It would be a nice one to actually, the internet just went down, no mobile phones, nothing. All technology goes down for one day, and see how people cope.
They wouldn't. I reckon if they had like one of those pulses where it knocks out everything electrical, and it'd stay like that for a whole week, we'd be well fucking screwed.
Yeah, no, they say the solar flare activity would basically, we'd have to start over. If we got hit by a bad solar flare, it would just fry the entire network and we'd have to rebuild it all. It would take years.
Can you imagine us going out trying to buy food, fuel?
Dude, it would be
money.
rioting there because nobody can get arrested because there'd be no evidence, no video. So everybody would just be going out looting. It would just be hell, man. If stuff ever happens, I'm going up into the mountains and I'm going to try to survive for a couple weeks in the mountains and then come down to the cities and on the outskirts and see what's like, then try to loot and like survive. Forget doing that at the beginning, man. That's what everybody else does.
You go out on the fucking mountains, come back down, and the whole fucking place is like full of zombies. You think, oh my god, I wish they would come back. The rage virus has been released. Holy shit! I thought it was just like pulse like knocking out the the waves, to the radios and TVs and like the internet and and the cash tills and the bank systems and shit like that. All the financial stuff. Thinking that, and you come back down only to find out that there's fucking like horde of zombies waiting for you.
I think that would be awesome, man. I think I could totally fit in a world of zombies.
I don't think you could, mate. Can you just imagine you running back up the mountains with a horde of zombies after you? They'd be after you. Why is it that this is what I don't understand with zombie movies? Yeah, they say that zombies go for the brains, but they don't. They eat any part of your fucking human body. Like they eat your intestines, your legs, your arms, your private parts, whatever. It's meat to them. But what happens when they get their full fill? Do they still crap? Do they still pee?
No, they don't.
They can't. Do they?
Depends what type of zombies you talk about? That's the thing.
Yeah, no, some like the older Romero zombies are all about the brains, but the more modern Walking Dead zombies, they'll just eat anything.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's like it's changed. The culture has changed. The zeitgeist.
But the thing is, obviously, stuff like The Walking Dead, they are decaying. They should be decaying.
But they're decaying. They think if they got to survive, right, and they eat human beings, right. But if they eat too much of the human being, they ain't going to stop, are they? Because their brains don't want to keep them.
I think obviously
they're going to get so fat they're going to explode, or are they still going to shit? I
think obviously the ones with rage disease, they'll be the ones obviously having the shit or whatever. Because obviously their systems are still working. It's just the brain.
Oh yeah, like the 28 day later zombie.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They're basically rage disease. Normal Walking Dead, nah. Their bodies all decomposing and.
I can't remember what one it was. It's one of the Day of the Dead movies, I think it is, when there was like down in the underground, in that clay system, a bit like a warehousing, and they was trying to like tame one of the zombies, and one of the zombies did actually get tamed in one way because he actually took revenge on the soldiers that killed the doctor. Now, do you think you could actually tame the zombie?
I think that's an interesting aspect more zombie stories should tap into. Is like the remnants of humanity left in certain zombies. Yeah, I'm trying to remember. I think I can picture it. Didn't he have like a pet zombie basically behind glass or something? Like he was training. That was one of the movies. Yeah, I remember that one.
He put the phone down, and the zombie picked up the phone, and he was actually talking.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Then he picked up a weapon, which wasn't like loaded, but he picked up a weapon and pointed at the soldier, and the soldier decided to go fucking apeshit over it. But then what kicked him off more was that he was trying to do that puzzle thing, and it wouldn't go through. So that's when he kind of like read up. I don't know if that's the same movie, but there was one where he did that, and that's actually on the that one was on Underworld. I think it was one of the Underworld movies. No, hang on.
Well, the one you were first talking about is from the Romero Day of the Dead series or Night of the Living Dead or whatever. It was one of those ones. Yeah.
Oh, what's the other fucking zombie movie?
Well, I know in City of the Dead was one of his later ones, and his zombies evolved to use weapons. His zombies got smart and they could use weapons and stuff. It was.
No, this one was oh Christ. A more recent one. Oh God, and I'm gonna have to Google it.
But yeah, I mean, I kind of wish that they would use that humanity in the monster more aspects, because zombies are supposed to like reflect, or the original like George Romero thought was like the American consumer, just like this brainless person that just consumes McDonald's and like the typical American. So at least that's what I've read on that part. But the zombie itself comes from Haiti, the Haitian, even older. It comes from the old Haitian culture of supposedly there's some medical science behind it to where people would get drugged to where their bodies and their heart would slow down so much that it appeared that they were dead, but they weren't officially dead. And there's stories about them being able to be like slaves and stuff. Serpent in the Rainbow or Serpent Under the Rainbow, one of those two. It was a book made into a movie about a real scientist that researched the Haitian voodoo myths in the 70s, I think it was. Really, really excellent. I haven't read the book. I've seen the movie. I wish I could say I read the book, but
come on, I mean, you know that movie, the one where they had that city and the rage virus got let out.
well, there's 28 days, the
Yeah.
28 days movies, and then
got 28
those
days.
had the raging fast smart zombies that could like climb stuff and open doors.
It's that female who was brought up, and one other survivor they put into like one of the thingies. Oh Christ, what's it fucking called? Come on, guys.
I might have missed it. There's a lot of zombie movies that have come out in the last 5 to 10 years.
I think the latest one is the one with Brad Pitt in it.
Oh, World War Z.
Yeah.
I never saw that one. Yeah, I never actually. It's based. World War Z is based off the writer, the author of the zombie survivalist handbook or something like that, or something along those lines. And Max something.
And I think there was rumors there's gonna be another 28 film.
That would be cool, man. I hope they. Oh, I actually can't remember what happened to that guy now. He probably didn't even survive. I don't even know if he was in the sequel.
The other one was one of the Resident Evil movies where they're trying to train the zombies in that case, and there's 3 doctors, and two of them got attacked by that zombie who was trying to do that Rubik's kind of like jigsaw puzzle thing, and he was trying to hammer it down, and he's like just went fucking ape shit, and like you know he's had to like snap his handcuffs, and he attacked 2 doctors, but the other doctor, the main actor, was able to get out, and like he later got infected and became some kind of weird fucking zombie creature kind of thing. Yeah, but that is it. Resident Evil, and I thought they was going to do another one of those ones actually, where she's actually in the White House.
That they originally had that planned, but they changed the sequel at the they ended it with a scene at the White House, and it looks like they're gonna have this awesome scene, and then in the next movie after that is a completely different plot. That's the problem about those Resident Evil movies, is they there's no continuity within the whole like it's ridiculous.
Actually, I was looking forward to that one.
And it's all written by the same guy. Nobody knows why he did this. He had to be smoking crack.
Yeah, because after the second one, it went all downhill. 1 and 2 was fucking brilliant.
Yeah, I really love 1. 2, I don't remember as much, but I bet you I would like it. I don't remember that one as well because there's so many. I actually didn't see the rest after that, but downhill. I agree.
Yeah, I won't bother watching the others, to be honest with you.
I did like what's it called? Is it Night of the Living Dead, where that black guy goes into that house?
That's the original Night of the Living Dead. Yeah, that's kind of what started it all, man. Yeah. Do you know that movie is it's a public whatever the term is, that anybody can use it, anybody can download it, anybody can put it on their channel. You can use it in any video clip. Public domain, that's the term. Yeah, that movie's so old now that it's a public domain movie.
Then you got the cheesy ones that come out like zombie and Nazi zombies and crap like that.
Yeah, I think I saw part of that, or I saw the whole thing and I fell asleep watching it. I just remember that the Nazi zombies don't even show up until the very end. It's not a very good movie. Yeah, I've been playing a game called. Oh, that reminds me, Steve. A game for Xbox just came out that's a lot like DayZ, and it's made by Bohemia, the company that made Arma, which was the original kind of game that DayZ was modded off of. And it's basically like a DayZ Lite without zombies. You jump into this small 1 kilometer by 1 kilometer map, and you and 8 to 12 other survivors are trying to either loot and just build gear, or get the one airdrop that appears in each map. And you basically have 15 minutes until radiation starts killing you. And then you have to exit the map. And if you survive and exit the map, everything you get, you take with you. So you loot and you take it back to the safe haven, and it's your like base that nobody can get to. And you build supplies, and you use these supplies because if you go out and you're looting and you have like really nice guns and you die, just like in DayZ, you lose it all. But if you grab enough weapons, you get blueprints, you can unlock and craft these things back at your base. So it's basically like a DayZ light. And instead of losing all your loot permanently each time, you're basically looting each game to try to build blueprints to eventually be able to build these weapons and stuff. Yeah, it's only on Xbox, but I bet you would dig it.
Yeah, but on DayZ, there's like mods where you don't lose your gear. You got time to go back.
Well, now back when I was playing it, it was before the tent was even out. So like you had to just carry your gear. I remember when they were talking about the tent or whatever. I was like, whoa, I can finally place it. And now I don't. Yeah, I'm sure now that you have like bases and forts and like all sorts of crazy stuff now.
I don't know Xbox anyway. What I've been playing is Just Survive. You know, that's a zombie game. Just Survive from what's it called? Who done it? I can't.
Is that the one that's a bird's eye view? You're kind of looking down, bird's eye view, and you run around and shoot zombies with bow and arrow and build your base and stuff?
No. This is by Daybreak. If you check Daybreak, they've done Just Survive. Then they've got a couple other zombie games. Like,
I think I've played that one. It sounds so familiar. I have to look it up here. If it's the one I think it is, it's a really fun game.
You know, I was on it again last night actually because I've got like a little wooden base. I could like expand it to like either concrete or tin metal base. But they've been fucking around and like they do a server wipe every so often, and it deletes everything that you got. You know, you got to start again and again and again. Every time they wipe it, you lose your base. You lose all your
yeah. That's gonna happen with this game too,
because it's still in alpha.
Yeah, exactly. The early access, they'll do that. You'll get wiped a lot.
They actually
it sounds like a real similar game to what I'm playing, except it sounds like it's a bigger multiplayer version of it. So how many players is it? Like 100?
Well, it depends. If you're on PvP, you can get up to like 200 people on there.
Yeah, like DayZ, really large servers. Yeah, that's a big difference.
I'm on PvE, player versus environment, so I can go around shooting zombies. But if someone comes to my base, they can't loot it, they can't raid it, they can't destroy it, nothing like that.
Good, yeah, that's cool.
That's what I like with PvE, but it does get a bit boring because like what they've done in this game though is that when you go out looting, there's so much tinned food that you find, yeah. And I'm thinking like what's the point at going hunting for like bear, dog, wolf? Well, not dog, but you got bear, wolf, and deer and rabbits you can hunt, yeah. And I'm thinking, well, that would be nice if they up that and load the tin food down, because everywhere you go, you've got tin food, tin drinks. Well, not tin drinks, but you've got bottles of drink. They have been mucking around with like settings and stuff like that. But the thing is, when you build a base, you've got to like at least be in your base at least once within 6 days. On the 7th day, if you're not there on your 7th day, then your base gets wiped out completely. So, and you lose everything. So I have to make sure I'm on the game and playing it for at least half hour, so I know that my base is going to be safe. Otherwise, I'm going to lose it, and I'm going to have to start all over again. And it's quite easy to build a base. It's no problem. But I find it a bit boring because sometimes you're running around, and then when the zombies are like attacking you, when they swipe you, you lose like a small percentage. So you've got to have like a horde of zombies around you to actually kill you.
Yeah.
You've got like a fucking an AK or AR, shooting them. You're going to kill them straight away. A 308 sniper rifle kills them in one shot. So you've got a load of fucking ammo. All you got to do is shoot them, and they're dead. But the thing is, you got like a screamer, which did originally kill you after a certain amount of screams, but it doesn't now. And you could be right next to it. The only way it can kill you is by like where it's swiping at you, and if it's like a powerful swipe, it can knock like half your energy power down. So like 2 or 3 swipes, you're dead. But then you've got like I think about maximum 15 minutes to get back to your base, and usually you spawn about 2,000 meters away from your base. And if you know exactly where you died, you can get your gear back no problem, which is good because I don't like losing my gear.
Yeah, exactly.
But like, you know, the thing is, you know, it's not really classed as like it's called Just Survive, but it's not really a survival game if you can't go out hunting animals, and there's so little animals about.
Yeah, it sounds like it's similar to the genre that I'm playing. It's like not quite survival and it's not quite battle royale where it's just shoot or be shot. It's like a mix of in between to where you're trying to build. You basically go out, loot, build your supplies, try to survive and take that home to your base, and then from there you're able to build better gear that you can use out in the field, right? Basically. You know, it sounds pretty cool. I've heard of it, but I don't think I know much about it.
I think you've seen my gaming channel, haven't you?
Well, yeah, but I haven't seen it since you had like DayZ stuff posted on it. I think the last one I saw was you were having a race with somebody, like a DayZ race with, I can't remember. I think it was a race. Yeah, well, DayZ's finally coming out to Xbox. I still own the DayZ beta, the pre-release beta on Steam, but they changed it. They've completely rewritten the graphics. It's the same game and a new game, so it's finally going to get its full release. It looks like maybe someday.
There's a game I've been recently be playing. It's called Escape from Tarkov.
Yeah, that's another similar. I want to try. That's a PC only, right?
At the moment, yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's no zombies in it. You don't build shit like houses or whatever. Literally, you go in there, get what you want, loot, and survive against AI and people. And get out. If you get killed, that's it. You've lost all your stuff.
Yeah, I'm playing Vigor, and Vigor I've read is basically people are saying it sounds like Tarkov but with smaller scale because we only have like 8 to 12 players or whatever. Yeah, I've never played games like that, so you kind of know the feeling that I'm feeling. How you're going out, it's like you're building your loot, and that's like your thing. Like
yeah. So all the stuff you get back, you can sell it, or you can make better guns or whatever you need.
Yeah, with this one, with the Vigor game, you take the guns you get and you break them down and you get components. And if you get lucky, you get a blueprint. And then like a certain gun, like an AK, it has like 5 blueprints, separate blueprints you have to do. So you'll get a lot of doubles, but then you'll eventually get the blueprints. Then you can eventually make it at your base. And then, but to make it, you need the materials that you gather in the world. Like for this one, it's like wire and screws and crap like that. And
yeah, that's what apparently Escape Tarkov is supposed to be doing soon. Instead of you obviously you have to escape, but then you've got an actual base you can go to and store your stuff.
Yeah.
So it reduces the risk a little bit of you completely losing something if anyone kills you.
Exactly. Yeah, that's exactly what Vigor is. Vigor is when you die or you exit the map, it loads you to your shack, and you have this one shack that's you're the only person in. And it has like a little shooting range, and yeah, you dump your gear and you can craft stuff and you upgrade your base, because the upgraded base you'll be able to produce materials easier and faster because they produce like over time. They sound like they're identical games.
Also,
that's funny.
Thing, you don't get no compass. You have no idea where you are. You have to literally buy maps of them and print them off. Otherwise, you're screwed. You do not know where you are.
Oh, that's really cool. Yeah, this one has no kill feed, but it has a compass on the top. It has the flat horizontal compass, and that's the only on-screen HUD that besides bullets when you have your weapon out.
I'll post my gaming channel in the side chat.
Also,
that's cool. That's awesome that we're all playing kind of survival style games, like survival.
There's another game I recently got. It's called Postscriptum.
Do you see that, Rusty?
Yeah, no, I just subscribed. Yeah, I'm your newest subscriber.
It's a World War II shooter. It's basically sort of like Arma 3 and Squad, where you have to listen to your squad leader and do what they tell you, otherwise you get kicked. But that's
I've got a new Call of Duty game at October, haven't they?
Oh, I can't give a shit about that. I'd just rather play proper World War games.
I bought last week I haven't bought the last 3 Call of Duty ones because my PC ain't strong enough and powerful enough to play it.
But
So
I've even started to stream on Twitch games, and
when I try to stream, it lags. So I use Bandicam to record the game and then upload it. I would have to like live stream it sometimes, but it really lagged my game out on this computer, so I stopped doing that. And then when I use Bandicam to like video the gameplay, it kind of lags out sometimes as well. But that could be either because of the computer not running fast enough, it could be the internet, or it could even be the game server kind of like lagging because there could be a lot of players on there. So sometimes I can't, I've got videos that I can upload on there, but I've not uploaded them because some of them just kind of do lag out sometimes.
I'll post my Twitch channel anyway.
Yeah, right on. Hey, Aaron, the personal customization on that Tarkov game, is it pretty deep, or is it just like you can choose a few handful outfits? I'm curious what that is like.
What do you mean?
Like, for your character, how do you?
That's it. It's you do not. Everyone looks like the same. If that makes sense.
Yeah, like this one. This one that in our game, there's only a handful of outfits you can choose from. You don't get to pick up stuff like pants and stuff like that.
No,
so okay, they have similar customization as well.
It's basically the same outfit. There's a couple different bags you can get because obviously the bigger the bag you get, the more stuff you could store. Different type of vests. So you get a bit of body armor as well. No, like military body armor.
Yeah, I'm going to show you my little base. Yeah, you watch this video.
Oh, yeah. Awesome.
This is me inside my little base.
Dude, I like your gear. You look so cool.
Oh yeah, you can get skins and customized gear. You look in my fridge.
Dude, see, that's awesome. See, last I played DayZ, you could not. I think tents might have came out. You can now stash in refrigerators. That's so badass.
Yeah, you can stash in refrigerators. You got your ammo box. You can put your ammo in. You got weapons box. You put your guns and everything in. You can create little wooden boxes. You can put crap loads of stuff in.
Well, I guess the current build of DayZ is 6.63 or something like that, and I guess we're getting that on the Xbox. We're getting that or something similar. So. I guess they're modernizing it and stuff. I would like to check it out, man. I wonder if my computer can still handle it now that they've updated it. Well, I would have to play on the low settings.
I'm only running a quad core. I can't remember the hertz, but it's only got like I think 8 gig of memory as well, and it's running okay on my system. So this is my little base I've got. I always shut my door in case someone tries to break in.
Yeah, always shut your door. Yeah.
Because like you can't destroy each other's bases. But I actually had my 308 rifle on me the other day, and I accidentally shot the fucking wall out. I thought, crap.
So did you build this base? Like, did you put the walls down and stuff?
All down, yeah. You got like a snap building on it. It's quite easy.
Hell yeah, that dude! I didn't know it was in depth. That's awesome. I thought you maybe picked from structures. I didn't know you could actually like build the wall.
Look! This is my 3 beehives, man, and they lay honey.
Oh no shit! That's awesome.
Yeah, and you can construct like on a building though that you build, you can only have so many like things on it. So like I can only have like a certain amount of constructed items on there before I can't put any. I can continue building. I can't put like extra tables down. I can't put so many photos, pictures down. I can only make certain amount of like beds. No, but you've got like sleeping bags you pick up here, there, and everywhere. So like this is just like me running around inside my little base. Like I was so fed up with fucking Daybreak, keep doing server wipes on just the 5 servers. I thought, well, screw you. And these are my weapons, but I've got a hell of a lot more weapons in that now. I've got 308s, I've got M1911, I've got AK-47s, AR-15s, and you've got M380 Taurus, you've got the M9 pistol.
Yeah, that's so cool, man. When I was playing it and I was hooked on it and I'd play it for hours, I would spawn on the beach, run for hours on end, get all my gear, and then die, and then do that again over and over. Just literally.
This is one of the supermarkets you can go in and raid.
Oh, hi.
Someone just said hi to me. Yeah, you can find like ghillie suits around as well. You know, you can actually customize stuff by going onto websites and buying like custom skins and stuff.
Yeah,
like that.
I think I read something about that. That is really cool, man. I hope they bring that aspect to the Xbox because, yeah, that's the thing that's lacking about this survival game I'm playing now is it has real minimal customization, and I really like to gear myself out. I don't know why, because I'm not like that in real life. I dress so like plain and simple.
This is supposed to be the safe zone, the military base, but zombies do get in there, and on a PvP, you've actually got like people like bots on the actual watchtowers shooting all the zombies. But on the PvP one, like PvE one, like this one, you don't. Now this is where I hid my stash, and I had a box here, just down here, right, and it shows you what I had in there. This is the box I put down, right, and I had a load of stuff in there, and I thought I'll go and check it a few days ago, yeah, and I got there, fucking thing completely gone. I don't know, it's because someone might have found and stole everything from there, or it'll only stay there for a certain amount of time, like 7 days or something.
Why did you place it there? Just to keep it for safekeeping while you went and did something else?
Safekeeping, because my stash box, my other stash box, which is just here, so I'm scrolling back a bit. This is a stash box that stays there all the time, but you can only put so much stuff in there because you've only got like so many slots. But I was running around looking for 308 rifles and like ammo and stuff like that. And you know, it's a fucking big enough map actually, you know. Yeah, like that's one of the zombies. And I'm using like a double bit axe to kill them.
Oh, that's awesome. I've never seen that weapon before.
Yeah, double bit axe, you know. Double bit axe like that kills them in one go. A 308 kills them in one go. A Japanese Kamata sword kills them in one go. I was too intrigued trying to find out what I had in my fucking like stash. So I thought, screw you.
Yeah.
But it is a good game. Like I've got a couple of files which I've not uploaded. But this is like what the video quality is like when I'm recording it sometimes. But I have been recording some games and like it's just been so laggy. So I thought, oh fuck it, you know, I ain't gonna bother. But this is one. This is just one of the thingies. Like if I went to another one, you know,
there's dozens of new features since last time I played. So yeah, I'm looking for. I'm gonna get it when it comes out on Xbox. I'm definitely because I prefer playing on a controller anyway. I would plug in my controller. I'd have to download this program and like remap it because it was back on the 360. I was using a 360. It was such a pain in the ass.
Dude, this is on PC and it's like $20 to buy.
Yeah, no, I have that one still too. I have the one on Steam. I got it when it was released, and I played the crap out of it. But I haven't played in a long time.
This backpack is the elite backpack, or one of the biggest backpacks you've got. But they have actually done it that you can get a bigger backpack. So this one carries like 2,500 in like storage kind of thing. But you get one which is like 3,000. But like the bit axe is like 800, a 308 or an AK AR, you're talking like 1,500. But you can put those in your main kind of like inventory. But when you put it in your backpack, you can only put like 2 weapons in backpack, unless it's like small handguns, which only take like 300 slots.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about the slots because the backpacks look different than the last time I played. Because you remember you'd have to like fit the certain things in like a jigsaw puzzle. It looks different than that.
Oh, they've changed it. It's a lot better game. But the thing is, like, it's also like frustrating when I fucking like do a service wipe.
Yeah, well, that's exactly what's going to happen with this Vigor game I'm playing. Is that they're going to be doing server wipes. So everything I get, all my blueprints that I get out from looting will all be wiped out to start out from scratch. So I'm not taking it too serious at the moment. But yeah, I noticed Aaron posted PUBG. I play a little of that on Xbox. I got that one at first around the time it came out, and it was crappy. They've made a lot of improvements. I started playing it again in the last week or two, and man, it is like night and day than when I first started playing it. They've changed it a lot. Yeah, that game gets my heart pumping. Every match, my heart pumps. It is. I don't have a game.
It's still broke.
Yeah,
Especially on PC.
Yeah.
I played it literally from the first day Gecko when it was in beta to this day, and it's still broke. The problem is they haven't properly dealt with hackers. They fully haven't optimized the game yet. It just seems like it's in there for the money, and that's it.
Does Sandhook, does that play better? I would hope that, I was hoping that that map in general would just play better because it was written now that they know what they're doing, because that's part of the problem with PUBG is that Arran was made with a team that really, they never made a game like that before. They were doing all mobile games. So
I hate that game, PUBG. I actually got that given to me as a gift, and it completely sucked. No, if you ever go on to that Just Survive from Daybreak, you can always team up with me. I'll give you the server name.
PUBG was a mod that was made. It was during DayZ days, basically, just to it was like playing the DayZ experience but light.
And and it was Armor 2, wasn't it?
Yeah, exactly, the Armor days. Yep. But
I stopped coming off. I stopped playing DayZ. I prefer like Just Survive. So if you ever get Just Survive on PC, you can always team up with me. You know, you get all the gear, what you need from me. Give you that, go to the door and everything like that. But sometimes you might come on and find that the base completely wiped and you might have to start again. But main thing you need to do is like start a base. You need to like get your foundation, and get your foundation. You got to get a pickaxe and go around and harvesting like stone and rocks from an actual boulder kind of thing. And that's how you get your foundation. Then you get an axe to cut down the trees. Then like build your wooden walls. So if you ever get the game, let me know. It's about $20, I think, still. And I know that.
Cool.
The thing is, right, what they are trying to do is they are trying to make it like as if it was like a proper zombie apocalypse.
Well, yeah, these games are basically putting twists on the DayZ formula. The DayZ formula showed how popular that survival style game is, and so now these newer games are they're taking aspects of them and making them more simplified in some cases, and streamlining them and making them funner, and
Well, you've got the old DayZ, then you've got the new DayZ standalone, and I've tried.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. There's a big difference with those. Yeah,
but with the new one, the standalone, they got it onto the new version, I think now.
Yeah, 6.3. That's the newest one. It just got released like in the last month or two.
Demo, like a kind of demo one, and I've done like a couple of demo videos of like saying what you can do and what you can't do. Because it was like on beta version still. I think.
Yeah, I've been following somewhat the DayZ change, because now that it's coming to Xbox, I got kind of curious, and I found that they changed the whole thing. The 6.3 update was basically like a graphic overhaul, like an entire rebuild of the game, pretty much. So with more modern technologies, a new engine, I'm pretty sure. Even
a new engine, Cherno and the other main city's been like expanded. Fucking.
Oh,
massive,
I bet. Yeah. Oh, I bet, dude. That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, even the docks has been expanded 3 times bigger than it was. So like,
they might do crossplay, man. Microsoft is all about crossplay, where computers can play with Xbox. So if DayZ comes out on Xbox, it might be a crossplay game where we could actually play on you on PC and me on Xbox, because they're doing that with State of Decay 2. That's a crossplay. Sea of Thieves is a crossplay. I think there's some sports games that are crossplay now. They're doing cross-platform play.
I don't know that you're going to do that with Just Survive, because like Just Survive is still in fucking alpha at the moment, and that's why I keep doing server wipes, because I keep trying to fix bugs and repair bugs and add this and add that, and they got to keep fucking server wiping every couple of months, which is bloody annoying. Mind you, they ain't done no updates since last month, so I wouldn't be surprised they'd do another server wipe soon. So that's why I don't like going around and like building bigger bases, extending the base, and like making it out of either concrete or metal, I'd rather just have a wooden one because, like, you know, being on PvE, no one can destroy your base anyway. You know, the only person who can destroy your base is yourself or a teammate if you're giving them code for him where he can construct and destruct. So if you came on there, I can give you like access to everything on there. And you can help build the base a bit bigger, but there's only so much you can do on one foundation. There ain't no way I can put a second foundation where I am. It means like what they've done is that you could only have one person can only have like originally it used to be 2 foundations, but now it's 1. But you can actually combine foundations. So like if you had 4 people in a group, you could actually put 4 foundations down and make it one big base, which is okay, I suppose. But I've not got any. Cool. I ain't got anyone on there, to like run around with. Actually, the only person I did have was a guy called James who goes out of Sunhawk. He came on for a little while. Then he bought me a game and I didn't like it, so I said no, I don't like the game. So I said, come on here, and he keeps saying he's coming on, but he never does come on. But I'm just there on my own kind of thing. I just like to run around, shoot zombies. I've been trying to go out hunting. I've just found myself one of the bigger backpacks by jumping on the pizza place and putting you get like on some of the zombies you get a spoiled letter, and what the letter does, it tells you where someone is hidden a stash. Not like another player, but it's like a story thing. And you go to the place where the stash is supposed to be, and you put your letter in the box, or it says press C on the box, and it gives you another weapon or 2. It gives you another backpack, gives you a few other bits and pieces. It's an interesting game, but hard to explain really unless you play it. But I do enjoy playing it. Just that because it's one of those games that keeps you interested in your concentration, because you're thinking, well, what would I do if this was a real kind of thing, like a zombie apocalypse?
Yeah, I think that's what attracts most people. Yeah.
How would I go out hunting? What kind of weapon would I use? Would I use a loud weapon, or would I construct? You can actually construct a bow and arrow. So would you rather use a bow and arrow and kill zombies that way? Because it doesn't make no sound, and I have tried it that way. If you kill one zombie with a bow and arrow, it doesn't attract the other zombies, because if you shoot a zombie, then it attracts them. So it's that kind of game. It seems like they kind of construct it off some of the movies, I suppose. If you shoot a zombie, they're gonna be attracted to sound. If you are running, they attract this. Your sound of the running can attract them towards you. But if you're kind of crouched down, a bit like on DayZ, you crouch down and you're kind of just creeping. You're not making no sound. So it's based on a couple of games. I think it is based on DayZ and a few other games. But
they're basically trying to put their own spin on this new genre. Yeah.
But
that's cool, man.
It's the thing is how would I do this in real life? Would I be going around with a fucking sniper rifle shooting every zombie? Because you're going to be limited to ammo, and some of these weapons, the 308, you can find ammo laying around, but it's just your single bullet or 2 bullets, But you can actually.
So you can't craft. Oh wait, no, we're talking about that other game. Yeah, you can't craft in that other game.
You can craft your bullets by taking other bullets apart, but you can also find it's not carton, but you can find a box of ammo.
Yeah, totally. Package box of shells.
The 308 ones are a lot harder to find. The AK ones in ARs you find a lot of. The handgun ones you find a lot of. But with the 308 sniper rifles, they seem to be a bit harder. Because, as I say, the 308 you actually can kill with one shot. The double bit axe is also hard to find. The Japanese sword is also hard to find sometimes. But you can actually go around and you might be able to find a baseball bat with nails in, which is one of the rare items. and that is a one hit kill. But a standard baseball bat, you know, you got bash the fucking zombie across the head about 4 or 5 times before you kill it, you know. But they are trying to make more of a realistic kind of game.
Well, and it's still in pre-release, right? It's in preview mode or whatever. So
like alpha still.
Yeah, so they're gonna tweak it and balance it.
It's been on alpha since
2015, I think. I think that was, I read that on the thingy. It was released in 2015.
Yeah, something like that. So like 3 years in alpha, and they still not got to a beta version yet.
Yeah, it's because nobody's worried about beating DayZ's Limbo in the standalone. It's been in beta for so long, but it looks like it's gonna hit the finish line finally.
Can't see it. A lot of people that's actually worked in that company's walked out or got fired or something.
Yeah.
But what would you, if the zombie apocalypse really happened, what kind of weapon would you rather use?
I something silent, like a stick or something attached along a stick. For years, man, I have a bow staff that I cut into like quarters. So I have these small little like police batons, basically, to be able to whack people around. And they're small enough I can put in my backpack, but they're long enough that like it gives me a lot of distance between things. It'd be something like that. Something sharp at the end if it's zombies, so you could do a lot of poking.
Oh, I'd rather have a sword or an axe.
See, a sword can get messy, I would think. If it's a zombie apocalypse that the blood can get on you, you want to keep them away, no matter what.
But if you got your mouth covered, I suppose, with one.
Yeah, you just would have to bundle up every time if that was the case. Yeah.
It's usually like if you get bitten by something, you're affected, but because of the saliva. No, you don't get blood in the saliva. You don't get saliva in the blood, do you? Unless it's like spitting blood at you.
Yeah. The Walking Dead had an interesting take. The Walking Dead was just everyone is infected, and no matter what, when you die, you turn into a zombie, if you're bit or not. That was an interesting take on it.
Yeah, I'd rather have something, sharp where you can just stab them. I wouldn't, a weapon like a gun, a rifle, that would definitely attract them.
Yeah, that's last case scenario stuff. That's like emergency stuff.
I can just imagine someone walking around with an M14 or something, with 100 rounds of ammo in each belt, shooting the zombies in the head, trying to shoot them in the head. So they're heavy guns, aren't they? Machine guns.
Oh, hell yeah. Dude, even a shotgun kicks so hard compared to what they show you in a movie. If you see somebody shooting a movie, like generally it just shows a little kick or no kick. When I've shot a pump handle shotgun out in the wilderness, and the first time I shot it, I held it too close to my hip, and it kicked right into my right side hip and bruised it like a son of a gun. So the next shot, I had to hold it out in front of me and to the right and tense my muscles up, and it still kicked so hard. It was ridiculous.
What would you have, Arran, as a weapon to kill zombies with?
Yeah, I won't. Oh, yeah, if possible, stay away from guns because obviously, yeah, it'll attract the zombies and you'll run out of ammo. Swords are probably the best way to go. If you know how to create arrows, that's great. Then you can also use the bow as well for that.
Yeah.
I
suppose a bow and arrow would be better because you got more of a distance to shoot.
Yeah, that's the best. They would technically be the best if you get good at it because it's the most quiet and it's the safest because you can snipe them.
You'd have to do a lot of practicing,
but then I'll just steal a boat, find an island where there's no fuckers there, and just survive off the sea.
Yeah, but the thing is, zombies and some of the movies, you never know. They might be able to find a way of getting across by going in the river, like what one was it where they took over that city? They jumped in the river. They didn't know this. They don't know how to swim. It's not going to kill them, is it? Because they're all really dead.
Yeah, they just walk across the bottom.
Yeah, but then they just get eaten, and they won't survive that.
Yeah,
even the pressure of the sea will just rip them apart.
Maybe.
Yeah, the sea they would be done for, but they could probably cross rivers and or lakes.
You're on an island, yeah, but if you're like on a little island in between like a couple of rivers,
yeah, it's different, yeah.
But like, you know, the other way you could probably kill them, but it would take a lot longer, and it might not kill them anyway. Is like fire, petrol bomb the fuckers, flamethrowers. That would probably burn them down.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
they're still going to
it
still
kills
come at you
everything.
on fire.
You just gotta burn it hot and hope they don't run at you. Yeah.
But then it's not just zombies you got to deal with; it's other people as well. They want to come and take your area.
Probably.
Yeah. In State of Decay 2, the zombie survival game for Xbox, you can shoot a zombie with a rocket launcher type deal that shoots fireworks, and it'll stick in their chest and they'll catch on fire, and then they'll run at you like you just described. It looks all crazy when they run at you on fire. You got to hit them with a quick headshot.
Well, that's the only way you can kill a zombie, isn't it? Which is kind of weird.
Yeah, well, in that game, yeah.
You know, well, in the movies, you know, they state that if a zombie apocalypse did happen, you got to shoot them in the head. But how do you know shooting them in the head would kill them instantly? You know.
Yeah.
Shoot
In The
them
Walking
heart.
Dead, Michonne, in one of the episodes, she has those zombie pets where she cuts off their jaws and she keeps them as like a zombie repellent. They keep the other zombies away, just dangling behind her on chains with no jaws.
See, I got bored with The Walking Dead because it's the same shit over and over.
Yeah,
again.
exactly. I haven't seen the newest seasons. Yeah, after season 6 or 7, it's just like the same stuff. It's just everyone's going through misery and a bunch of bloody stuff happens, and it really doesn't change much.
Last episode I saw of The Walking Dead is when they was in the prison and the zombies started to like overrun the prison. And
Shit, that's like season 2 or 3. That's not very
I think
far.
I finished was season 4.
Yeah, I'm at 5 or 6, somewhere around there. But yeah, it gets really repetitive.
But that's the last time I saw, and I thought, fucking hell. Because that's when they stopped the series, I think, after that, and the new series was due to come out, and I completely forgot all about it.
No, they're Walking Dead still going. They're like on season 8 or 9 or something, man. They're still going. Rick's still around. I've seen thumbnails on YouTube. He's all gray-haired and gray-bearded and stuff.
I think the problem with The Walking Dead, they just did it for too long.
Yeah.
It's just too long for that.
Oh, exactly. Now it's getting into the any show that goes that long just gets into the beating a dead horse territory. Yeah.
I know that like Fagsa, they got Fear of the Walking Dead now, haven't they? Which is like, you know, the next one up in it.
I guess so. I only saw the first episode. It's okay. I don't know. I guess if you get into the characters, it could be good.
I haven't seen any of those yet. See, with me, if I start watching the series and I like it, I have to sit there, you know, and watch every fucking episode. And I know, you know, you got to sleep, but I try to watch the whole series before I stop and go to bed and watch the next series the next time, because you don't know how many episodes are in the series. So if there's like 8 episodes in series 1, I'd probably like start in the morning and watch all the way until like the last episode, and then the next day start on the second series and the third series, and you know that's the kind of person I'm like, I suppose. But
that's a lot of people that they called binging, you know, Netflix binging, whatever, Yahoo, Amazon binging, whatever. Yeah. Well, it's right there. I mean, people did it. It's not like it's anything new. People did it with VHSs and television in general, especially when the satellite dish came out. People could get like 200 plus channels and just watch a specific type of thing all day. So,
remember the VHS days, Christ.
I still have a dozen or 2 old VHSs, a couple VCRs. I haven't used them in so long.
Rewind it all the time and
be kind, please rewind.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think like anyone really's got any VCRs nowadays, have they?
I'm sure some people do, like just to have a weird collection. Like some people still collect records and stuff. So
yeah, I know. Like, you know, I've seen some of the charity shops still have like VCRs, but I'm thinking about the old fucking like really, really old ones before VCR, like the high
beta. Yeah, they're the betas. Yeah, the smaller. It's like it looks like a VHS, but it's smaller.
Smaller, yeah. I'm pretty sure there's still some of those about.
Yeah, some are probably worth some money, man, on Amazon or whatever, eBay or whatever.
Right, anyway, I think we'll end this stream now. I think it's like 1:20. What shall we talk about next time? You fancy another one next week?
If I can make it, yeah. Whatever you want to talk. I'm down to talk about whatever. It's cool. I'm easy. I can't promise I can make it, but I'll try to.
What do you think? Thursday again, or what? Or Monday?
Can't do it Monday. Maybe Tuesday or Thursday.
Or
Yeah, we
maybe
could
just ask the chat
mini
what they
episode.
want us to talk about.
Yeah, what do you want us to talk about in chat? What's our next episode about? Our next little mini episode.
It's been a really good chat, fellas. I appreciate it. I don't really get to talk to people like this at all. This was doing the whole online community thing was definitely an outlet to be able to speak interesting things that people don't tend to generally either be interested in or they're afraid to show interest in. So thank you very much. A million thank yous.
I'm going to give them 5 minutes, 6 minutes to see what they.
Oh yeah, no, we can chill and chat, man. I'm down to chill and chat about anything. So I'm just like super.
I know we've done some talking about well, we're talking about space and that, aliens and stuff like that. We spoke about mysterious kind of creatures and that kind of stuff tonight. So could talk about something else. Come on, see, give us an idea. You're good at thinking about stuff.
I don't know. We could just talk about whatever too, just like shoot the breeze and just talk about whatever random stuff, which we tend to do because tends to just we don't have a script or nothing. We're just going on the fly as it is. So I don't know, man. Like I don't know. I know weird stuff about weird little things here and there. There's like ancient and lost civilizations. That's a big one I love. Just like the ancient Atlantis ideas and stuff. That's another thing the Freemasons, the higher up Freemasons are into is the Atlantis idea. And
yeah, because Atlantis, they're just saying it could be anywhere, kind of. Apparently, it could be off the
that's what
coast of
America is
Ireland.
supposedly framed after too. With the Masons that had their hands in the designing of America, as they picturized it as the new Atlantis. There's even books written by Freemasons about, I think, entitled just that, the New Atlantis, that talks about creating the United States and stuff.
Yeah, because there's supposed to be Atlantis by Ireland, then there's another one in the English Channel or North Sea.
Well, maybe we talk about that then, like Atlantis, hidden cities under the sea,
There's sunken cities. There's like the Mediterranean has all sorts of. Dude, just in the last few years, they found some crazy Egyptian statues off the coast of Alexandria that was like some sunken part of Alexandria that they've now found. And I don't know, there's some crazy stuff.
We could talk about that and like another one, which I wouldn't mind talking about, the Bermuda Triangle. That would be interesting.
Dude, yeah, and they have in the Pacific, they have the equivalent of the Bermuda Triangle called the Dragon Triangle, where it's like the Asian version of the Bermuda Triangle.
Well, okay, then we'll talk about that next time. I'll let you know when, probably Thursday.
So yeah, I'll try to make it. No guarantees, but I'll try to make it. So hell yeah!
Right.
Thank you guys. Thank you everyone.
I've got to do some streaming myself. I've got some other things I want to do with these dolls. And I want to do some like ghost boxing. If you've actually doing a night, with us, do some ghost boxing, you want to get back into that, let us know and do that. But that's if you want to.
Yeah, most likely a negative on that because I'm kind of just not been doing that at all. But you never know. Maybe an EVP, like you just never know. I don't know. But chances are not for a bit. I don't know. It's not like I'm coming back and I'm going to be here all the time. I just felt like stopping by and, I figured with all that BS that you've been going through, that's why I thought I timed it pretty well the other day when we first hung out. Cause I'm like, dude, let's just chat instead. And we were able to turn the mood from all that BS straight to just talking about how planets are formed and like all sorts of cool stuff. So
well, the first night you're supposed to have been here. Yeah. And it's just me and Simon. Yeah. Towards the end, we did get a little bit of BS. Come on here. I'm thinking, well, Rusty was here, we would have fucking gone straight away, You wouldn't have said goodbye, we'd have just fucking jumped off without saying goodbye, I think. But
no, I would just have kicked him off without anything and not even said anything. I always have every stream I've ever been on, Steve, viewers, I always have the chat box popped out and next to it, or the chat box is up to some degree. And I've looked at everything people post for the most time. Sometimes it slips, but yeah, I've been watching chat, and if I'm here, I generally kick suckers out and don't make a big, because the secret is just you have to do 100% ignore, man. I get trolls still all the time, and I just hide their comments on my channel, and that's a way you can troll the trolls, because they will still see their comment, their personal comment, when they look at it on the channel. So they'll sit there and belly laugh, ha ha ha, ooh, I got them. But in real life, it's hidden by it to everyone. So in real life, they're actually getting trolled. So I just do that, and I don't think anything about what anybody says, man. People have said some nasty things. I don't think anything of it. I don't do anything anyway. It's not like I'm begging for subscribers or telling people to think certain ways. Like, I literally just make my weird videos and upload them. And yeah, I ignore, and I never mention it. And you'll find that they'll grow bored of it, especially because I saw that video the other day because I was here at the chat or whatever. And yeah, I mean, you know who, yeah, I don't want to even, yeah. Anyway, yeah, just ignore, man. Just don't even talk about it anymore. And it gives them power by you acknowledging. So by not acknowledging at all, they have zero power, and they can't do nothing, because the only way they get the power is by riling people up and, you know, making them talk and go over it. And then that gives them the power. You have to just ignore straight up. You should see some of the stuff, man. It's all hidden and deleted on my stuff. You can't show it now, but yeah, I got some nasty stuff throughout my history, man. I never pursue it. I just hide the user's comment and move on.
Yeah, that's why I said, like, you know, you need to, like, ignore, block, and report. But you know, the other day, last week, I had to, like, address it, you know, because I ain't having.
Well, exactly. In some cases like that, and dude, it seems like you know who it is and all this stuff. And I'm not surprised. All that I knew since day one, when all the trouble first kicked off, whenever that it was going to continue, and it still has. So I knew it. I don't want to get into it at all. We don't need to, but yeah, I just wanted to end my little part with this, just to try to, because I know it's hard, and I've told you this a bunch. So, and I know you probably won't listen to me in the long run, but honestly, just don't even ever address it, man. Like, ever, because then you're giving them power. And the only way that they can get power is by that. And other than that, they'll just sit there, twiddle their fat little thumbs and pretend to be something they're not. And then in the long run, karma gets this stuff, man. I've had so many instances where it's like, oh, this sucks in my life. But karma will get to these people that are intentionally doing bad things to good people. That's how it'll all balance out. It'll stop, or at least quiet, and it'll just don't acknowledge. That's the best. That's what I do. I never acknowledge. I never say nothing about it. So I've already said like way more than I've ever wanted to say about the subject.
Yeah, no. There's just one link I want to post to you guys. I've got to try and find the YouTube channel. I think his name is Sandbox. He does a lot of like videos on like the paranormal.
Yeah, I've never heard Sandbox. Never heard of, man. Yeah, I've been out of the loop for the last year or so. So there's probably so many new people and channels and ghost box apps.
Let me see if I can quickly find it. I think that's the one.
Has any new groundbreaking ghost boxes that are physical come out? Like, remember the Ghost Ark a year or two ago? The Ghost Ark was supposed to like change the game, and then it ends up it was just this piece of crap. I wonder if there's anything like that. The Ghost Ark. It sounded awesome. It sounded so badass, but it ended up just being this like $300 Bloody Mary bought one. poor Mary. I was really thinking about it.
No, he just posted a link up. Oh, it's Chills. His name's Chills. Sandbox did do stuff, but he stopped doing it, I think. Yeah, this is a good website to check out for paranormal stuff. He does, you know, practically everything, I suppose. Like, you know, what we actually spoke about tonight. You know, like mystical creatures and stuff like that. Hello, Chris. Just closing down, mate. So you've missed it.
Oh, you know what? I think I have heard of this one before, seen things that they've posted.
Yeah, he's a good channel. Like, you know, he's got a lot of good stuff on it. No, I've watched a lot of stuff on there, and like, you know, I can tell that even with some of the so-called scariest like videos, it's just like bullshit, you know. CGI, it ain't CGI, it's just like someone fucking around in the dark with wearing a costume or something. No, I think he's got a Twitter and a Twitch account. And I posted some of my videos on his Twitch account, but I don't think he's ever played any of my videos, to be honest with you, but don't really bother me. But no, he says, like, if you've got any kind of scary stuff or paranormal stuff, post it to him, and I have done, but I ain't seen nothing. All right, guys, we'll catch you next week then, yeah?
Okay.
All right, cool, guys. Thank you. Have a good night, guys.
Yeah.
You up for that, Aaron, next week?
Yeah, probably doing fuck all anyway, so.
Even if Rusty doesn't come, we can still do it. Yeah, so hopefully Rusty will come.
Thursday works better than Wednesday, but I can't guarantee Thursday. So, but if it was on Wednesday, I could not be there Wednesday, but maybe Thursday. So I'll try to make it.
All right, then. No worries. All
right, guys. Have a good one.
See you later. See you later, man. See you later. Rusty, cheers for coming on. Bye. Catch you later.